On today's episode of the Grab My Banner podcast, the boys fix Kings Canyon. They go through all of the issues with Kings Canyon and try to figure out what would best solve the puzzle that is Kings Canyon. The boys also rank all of their favorite town takeovers. I believe there's 9 of them. And we go through all of them and talk about our favorite ones, whether it be the loot that spawns on there, just the way it looks, or how it is to battle on top of it. Lots of good discussion there. And then we move into Bachelor, where Kyle has a revelation about his love life, and we also talk about some sticky situations in the dating world. So, without further ado, let's get into the show. My dearest Caitlin, it's been many months since I've been able to pen you a letter, but I've found some time sitting in the oasis that is the floating city of Olympus. Since we last talked, I was sitting on the Battle of Storm Point, raging against giant creatures and horrible enemies. Now I sit upon Olympus, the floating city. Don't know if you've ever heard of it, but there's many penis-shaped items floating around this area. Really, they're not giant penises. That would be silly. No, actually, they're ships used to carry things across the universe. They even have names like the Acadia. The issue is in the design. You see, whoever designed these must have had phallus on the brain, which I can't blame them. I find myself thinking about it too from time to time. You see, the anatomy of a penis usually involves 3 core items: the balls, the shaft, and the tip. And these ships have all 3, without a doubt. Usually you can find more loot in the balls, but every once in a while you can find a nice weapon and a set of armor in the shaft. The tip, well, you'd really have to get lucky to find something good there. But that's where I reside. I've spent many a night at the tip of the Big Blue. It's treated me well. Some say Big Blue isn't quite as big as Big Orange. But what I've always said is, size doesn't necessarily matter. No, not the size. What truly matters is what's on the inside. And I believe that. Anyway, sorry to go off on a penis tangent. You know I'm privy to one of those every once in a while. Anyway, my love, I must get back to battle. The war rages on, you know that. One day, I'll be back with you. Soon I'll be shipping out of Olympus and headed to Kings Canyon, where I first enlisted. I hope to see you soon, my love. Cheers.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Grab My Banner podcast, episode number 77. And boys, we got some more recolors. We got some, it's like the Blackout event, the Voidwalker, Pathfinder's old cinematic skin, and we also have the Battle Pass skin from Octane in Season 7, all black and red. Those are badass.
Sick.
Very badass. Cool. Voidwalker is one of the best skins ever in this game. That's just a fact. I don't think there's. I don't think there's any.
Such a shitty skin,
Brian. Your takes are so bad. Why do you have such bad takes all the time?
Voidwalker is one of the worst skins in this game.
No, it's not even close. Have you seen Bozo the Clown from Mirage?
I would rather have that.
What was that?
Chuckles the Barrel.
Chuckles the Barrel Man. You're gonna say it's worse than Chuckles the Barrel Man?
That's so bad. It's comically good.
My
There's a lot of bad skins in this game.
Voidwalker is so much better. You're saying it's one of the worst in this game.
I don't like
in this game.
Bangalore.
I also have a thing where
blonde pompadour.
Blonde Pompadour Bangalore.
I also have a thing where I don't like helmets on video game characters. I feel like it's just lazy as far as the...
Cool.
You don't like Master Chief?
Not really, no.
Oh my God, Brian.
That's
This is
No,
a
actually,
horrible way.
Master Chief isn't bad.
That
One's not bad.
Yeah,
That
I
one's
was
not
like,
bad.
Darth Vader.
holy.
I said video game characters.
He's in a video
he's
game.
in a video.
Yeah,
game.
but he's based off the
But
movie.
he's based on
Yeah, but okay, so it changes if they're in a movie?
Yeah, because then it's based off the movie. You're just staying true
You
to the movie.
have weird stipulations that I don't care for. If I'm going to be honest with you.
You're a weird stipulation. I don't care.
Oh,
Got me?
got him.
Hey, you got me.
Tragic.
That's all I can say. Yeah, but they are this new dev team. They love recoloring skins.
Yes,
They
they
don't
do.
It's
love
their
original
favorite thing.
skins.
They just go into the files. They play Color Me Mine with every skin that's ever come out.
They just
and
get the color
fucking-
wheel and just adjust
They're
it
just like,
every
what,
update
What if I did this
once a week.
They just do some 3Chi in the back room. And they're like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
move this fucking wheel around.
You know it's a good color combination?
Yeah, black and red would
Black
be
and
fucking
red.
sick, bro. And I don't know if I hate it. I would like to see more original skins come out.
Give me
But
another mythic skin, maybe.
maybe I think that's on the horizon. I'm not going to delve too deep into it, but there is a mythic skin on the way, I believe. So either way, I would love to see some new skins, but we got some recolors. And Voidwalker to me will always be one of those recolors where I'm like, I'm going to get it unless it's completely ridiculous. Like if it was orange and green, lime green, I wouldn't get that. But this one's really cool. The blue one's really cool.
So
the
you
original
wouldn't get
Voidwalker.
orange and lime green.
Orange and lime green is like Nickelodeon Shrek
Terrible
colors. I would
it's
never
terrible.
get
It's
that.
like that Pathfinder skin.
There was actually
The chameleon Pathfinder skin, just awful.
whoa,
Just
whoa.
That's worse than my
Whoa.
take.
You
That's
know how
worse than
bad
my
That is
take.
way
You know
worse
how
than your
bad
take.
you
No,
played
Chris,
in arenas when we
6 man.
played with that?
6 man. Yeah, because I got shot, so it's bad in that way. But
Yeah.
it is a
Six-
great skin. He's
No,
got
bro.
fucking.
Sorry.
He's
Bro,
got chameleon
6 man's
eyes.
about to be a bench warmer.
I know.
Hey.
Oh my god. Well, a 6 man is a bench warmer kind of.
Yeah.
He starts the game on the bench.
I mean, he starts standing up, ready to come in.
Yeah,
but, you know,
that's
it's-
true.
I'm like
or
Lou
it
Will.
could be like the Oklahoma City Thunder, where James Harden was a 6th man, but they would just play the first tip and then he'd come into the game.
Come
So,
in
yeah.
immediately.
That's how you pay him less.
Exactly. All right, boys and girls, we got a packed show for you guys here today. We're going to get into the Rogue Energy Draft here in a second, and also we're going to have a discussion about the best town takeovers, because there's a lot of cool ones. And then we're going to do the second version of our series, The Boys Fix. And this week it's going to be Kings Canyon, the map. We're going to go through the problems and solutions and then finish off the show with Bachelor. But let's get into the Rogue Energy Draft of the Week. Don't forget to head on down to rogueenergy.com, where you can use code BANNER for 10% all Rogue Energy products. And boys and girls, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to want to try Rogue, because that shit is delish. You're going to want to try it out as soon as you possibly can. Boys, Rogue Energy Draft of the Week. You and your significant other just went to IKEA. You spent about $1,000 buying all of their nice furniture, but now you're sitting there pulling your hair out because the directions are unclear and you can't figure out how to build all of the things you just bought. You get to pick 3 legends, 3 this week. That means there's going to be legends left on the board. Who are you drafting to help you build all of your IKEA furniture? Let's get into
Let's
it.
get it.
Now, I think there's a clear-cut number 1 overall draft pick, and I think it's Rampart. She's got a wrench,
She's a phenomenal builder.
phenomenal at
Forgot
building.
about that.
There's some big hitters on this board, but there's also some big misses. Gibraltar might break all your furniture.
will
Might,
break all
might
the
sit on it.
furniture.
If he trips even
He's going to
once,
lean into it, and it's going to
yes,
fall apart.
If he trips even once, he's stumbling into your furniture that you just spent a shitload of money on,
Destroyed it.
and he's pretty much ruining it.
And I'm
So
pissed.
you got to be careful.
Is a mechanical engineer, is that still able to do like regular stuff?
Well,
They can,
yeah.
I think they can do most.
Okay, so Watson's up there too. Then.
Watson's got to be up
Gotta
there.
be.
Good with
There's a
tools.
lot. There's a lot that's up here.
There's a lot because
A lot.
these are smart people. They're playing the Apex games for a reason. They have cunning. They have ability, but
There's some you don't want.
you got to find somebody who can read the directions.
Are you
that's what it
implying
comes
that
down to.
Pathfinder is a smart person?
No.
So he was
Okay.
one that I have a feeling might be left off the board. Although you could use him for parts if you run
True.
out. So
Missing a bolt.
That's always a possibility there.
There's a possible.
So there we go. All right, boys, let's draw the numbers real quick. We got the numbers. All right, here we go. Numbers time.
Numbers.
I'm gonna grab. There we go.
All right, what are the odds I get number 1?
Again?
3 times
3 weeks in a row?
3-peat. Here, let me just
Here we
take
go.
the cup.
I'm waiting
You
for
had the cup.
I was waiting for you guys to pick first, so I didn't
shit.
cheat. So
Fuck.
What'd you
Actually,
get?
no, that's not bad.
Would you
I
get
got
4?
4.
Okay, I got 3. Kyle got
I
one.
got one.
Number one.
Kyle's first overall, baby.
I'm really happy about that because I already put Kyle's
That
name
means
down.
Brian. Brian
got
is
number
number
two.
two. Brian is sitting two. Now, before we get into this draft, there is a dead tie between me and Chris on this week's draft and last week's draft. Sorry, and I don't know what's going to happen, but we're at a dead tie. It was by far the closest draft we've ever had. This vote is insane. We don't know who the winner is, so we can't crown a winner.
Gave it to this week. You two have your own separate side little bet. The one who comes in above the other person this week gets last week.
Okay,
Between the two of you. I feel like that's fair. Let the
All
community
right,
decide.
that works. That works. All right, so there's no
Also,
winner
I
this
want to
week.
say that I also helped Chris's votes this week.
Stop.
Hashtag
Stop.
vote for Chris.
Yeah,
Worked
yeah.
out
Yeah,
huge.
yeah,
Who knows what would have happened? I
Um,
probably would have won in a
Kyle
landslide.
had like
if you
two
did.
I
views on
mean,
the tweet,
if I
and one of
wouldn't
them
have
was
done
me.
that, it probably would took some votes away from me. I probably would have won easy,
There-
but
That's
Listen,
what it is.
I made it to fourth without any campaigning, so
Yeah, Brian made it to dead last.
His best placement.
Brian had a tough draft last week,
yes.
but that's all right.
that's okay.
You
I'm
did
okay
have
with
the
that.
best breaker inner. But you
people
just
were
didn't.
trying to tell me that he was useless.
It's not Fuse that was useless. I think Valk was your bad pick.
So the thing with Valk, I was always just thinking, blow the roof open. You got Fuse, blow the roof open.
Did
and then
you
always
forget
have
that
next.
you could only take two of your teammates?
No, because I wanted to leave everyone else behind.
Okay.
They're the dummies.
Okay.
That was a classic Brian, like I'm gonna,
Joker moment.
Brian got out on top of that one, but he knows he just thought of that off the top of his head right now.
100%.
That's a classic Brian moment. All right, let's get into this draft here. Kyle gets to go first. Kyle, here's the list. Who
I
you going with?
already know what I'm going to take. I'm going to take Rampart.
You got to take Rampart number one.
Number one.
You got to take Rampart number one. All right, Brian.
I did not think this through. Let's go. I need somebody smart.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you just have to have someone start. Fuck me.
Holy shit, Brian.
Stroke.
Right? Give me more champagne. Let me steady myself. Watson.
Watson
Watson.
with pick number two. That's a solid pick. I'm so glad she fell to me. You do have to have somebody smart. I would say somebody who figured out interdimensional space might be a little bit smarter than somebody who figured out electricity. I'm going with Horizon at pick number 3.
I don't know about that.
She figured out how to fucking travel
She
black
also,
holes.
Brian, she has kids. You know what happens when you have kids? You got to build a lot of shit.
She ain't built. No.
She has
Very
experience.
true.
She's not building any of that shit.
Hold on. Horizon's a great mom, and I've always said she's a great mom.
Since when, motherfucker?
I have never ever said anything
Since
bad
when?
about her mothership.
Really?
Ever.
Really? What'd she do to her kid?
She happened to get. You know what
A
happened?
mildly
Ash-
long vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ash ruined
No,
of her parenting.
Listen, dude,
ability.
it was just it was a plan for
I
the two
can't
of
believe
them.
you'd even say this. This is gross. This is ridiculous, Brian. I can't believe you.
What's gross is her parenting style.
Oh no, that's just I would never say
Neglect.
anything like that.
Chris, you got 2 in a row.
Chris got
Being-
two in a
I have
row.
2, and I'm not sure who I want, really.
You need some smart
I have
people.
one. I got one just because. I'll start with my first one.
Oh, get your first
Wyatt
one.
mentioned significant other. I don't have one of those.
No.
Loba. Just for the significant other role.
Oh no.
I'm taking her. Need it.
Pick Loba because she has wide birthing hits.
Yes.
Listen, it's
It's
encouragement.
encouragement.
It's
Yeah.
encouragement.
Okay.
It's motivation.
Okay.
Number 2. I guess Crypto's kind of smart.
Crypto is.
No.
You gotta think he's probably built his own PC. That's
Yeah.
That's a
probably.
Skill. I don't know how
I-
much it translates.
I mostly. I can't lose to Wyatt for last week either. That's the thing. Well, I guess I'll take Lifeline just because she's got the homie vibes. She's
Okay.
probably built furniture before.
Okay.
You know,
all right,
she-
so you got
yeah,
Lifeline.
I could see that. She's
This is-
helped her
this is
friends
rough.
move in and
This is
stuff.
She's one of the friends that keeps it light. I don't know if you guys have ever had this, but I've had to do this 1,000 times. Whenever my dad's trying to fix one of the family vehicles, I have to hold the flashlight.
Oh yeah.
And
She's
my
that
job is literally just to keep him calm. Everybody know, like, he won't say it out loud, and he probably doesn't know that that's my job. But ever since I was a kid, my job is to keep it light so that he doesn't fly off the handle, because he will, and when he does, nothing gets done. So I try to keep it calm.
I got
She'll
you.
keep it calm when things are going. When
I'm missing parts.
Yeah, when things are going tough. Okay, so I have Horizon. It's back to me. Looking at this list, I see. Ooh, I see one other scientist that I feel like could decipher something even without directions. I'm going with caustic. He might actually make it better. He might make it more
torture
sturdy.
device.
That too. I have to watch that, but that's okay because I'm in the room making sure. If he's bringing in some, he's like, I need to order some mild steel. I'll be like, no, we don't need that. We don't need that caustic. We're good without it. Okay, so now it is Brian.
Who do we got? Who's left on the board for me? That's actually decent. Someone I feel that is a very handy, very practical person that would have a talent for putting things together and just figuring it out whether directions were lost or not would be Bangalore.
Okay,
I feel
there
like
you
Bangalore
go.
is very good at pretty much. She's just
Solid
well-rounded all the way.
The one detractor of Bangalore is if you mess up, you're getting an earful.
You were running laps.
Yeah, you're getting an earful. All right, Kyle, you got 2 in a row.
All right. I think I'm going to pick crypto, and then I'm going to take Fuse.
Fuse as your what's the story behind Fuse?
So Fuse, you always need a beer guy after you're done
You
putting
do
together
need
the
a beer
furniture.
guy.
You do need a
That
beer
is
guy.
a
You
great.
need a beer guy
That's a
after
great
you're
point.
done putting
You
together
need a beer
furniture.
guy.
You need a beer guy.
Yes, you need a beer guy.
So-
I love that.
And Fuse is like the beer
I
guy.
fucking love that. I
Listen,
love that.
If you're building something without alcohol involved, you've severely fucked up somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
That's the one thing since I've turned 21 is I don't go into any building project without
God.
beer on hand.
Yeah, you got to have
That's
beer.
part of
You
the
have
job.
to, it's part of the job at that
And you know what?
Alcoholism.
It's more of a
That's-
tool than some of your other
We don't talk about that,
tools.
Chris.
Like I don't even really drink beer, but if I'm building something or like
It's
moving
like a-
furniture, I'm drinking beer.
It's like a manly instinct that just kicks in. You're like, "Where's the beer at?"
Yeah,
You need-
you're
it's like you can't work well without it. Almost.
Yeah, you're like I
love that
need
pick.
beer.
That's a great final pick. That's a great final pick.
Chris-
Okay,
Chris is judging me.
Brian, you are up.
I'm up again. Fuck. Let's see. You know what? There's somebody on this list that I feel like has moved quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's probably had to build a lot of slapped together furniture, a lot of furniture that's been of halfway decent quality.
Okay.
And probably knows where all the parts go before they even have to pull out the fucking directions to begin with. And that's Mirage. I feel like Mirage has moved a lot, plus all the extra hands could be useful. And like Kyle said, a beer guy's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I feel like because Mirage's dad wasn't always home, that's a lore thing that I know. Probably had to build a lot of stuff.
He probably had to
at
figure
home.
it out.
Probably
I
had
would
to
think
figure
he
it out.
doesn't
And
know
even
how
that,
to
I've-
build stuff
That's
because he
also-
didn't have a dad.
That could be.
That could be, but I'm also saying that I think he's been on his own enough in his adult life to where he's moved from place to place. Think of his ship and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like
He
probably put the furniture together on at least a few things in there.
He's
He's
got
got
his
some
own bar.
idea.
You got to think if you own your own bar, you're one of two guys. You're either the guy that hires somebody or you're the guy that tries to fix it yourself. And Mirage does not strike me as the guy who hires somebody.
No.
He's
No.
probably the fix it yourself guy.
Listen, I think Mirage is a
Only
fair
for the
pick.
reason that he doesn't want to spend money. He just
Maybe.
he doesn't want to spend money. So he's like, you know what? I'll find a guy.
And
I'll find
worst
a guy.
case scenario is he doesn't help. Watson just tells him what to do and he puts things in places, or Watson tells Bangalore what to do. She puts things in places, and he stands around and drinks and is that guy.
Holds the flashlight.
Yeah, like he's that
Flashlight
guy.
holder. Okay.
He'll keep it light.
There you go. I'm so glad that this pick fell to me. Very happy about this because I am a guy who loses things all the time. It's actually crazy how often I lose things. And what do I need for that? What do I wish in those moments when I'm sitting there losing stuff? I'm like, wow, I wish I just had like some sort of scan ability where I can find the part that I just had in my hand, set down, and don't remember where I put it. Bloodhound is going to go to my squad because I'm going to lose a few I'm going to lose a few screws, I'm going to lose some tools, and I need to find them, and I'm going to get stressed out, and I'm going to be my dad in those moments where I'm going to start flying off the handle if I can't find my parts. Bloodhound's going to scan it for me right there. Got it. And then I'm good.
Hey, Q real quick.
Please scan.
Yeah. I don't have it for another 10 seconds.
Chris,
Yeah.
you got 2 back-to-back. This is going to be your second, or no?
Are we taking
Are we taking
3 or 4?
3 or 4?
No, that was the last one.
Oh, that was the last pick?
Yeah, that was the
So
last
I
Fuck,
have
I had one
have
more I
one
was going to
more.
go.
Yeah, Chris has one last pick.
Let me see here. This is brutal. Truly, I don't think I want any of these people, but
You might need a beer guy. You have a beer guy?
I don't need a beer guy because I've already got something I'm looking forward to at the end of this.
Okay, all right. That's true.
That, you
The
feel me.
lowest, yeah, birthing hips.
Birthing hips. Fuck it. We're going to go with Octane.
Octane. Okay.
He's gonna be so high on his fucking speed that he's just gonna put everything together with no help.
Yeah. Oh,
He's going so fast.
You toss him the tool, toss him the part,
I just
you put it right there.
point him in the direction that what he needs to do, and he's just
Plus in
putting it all together.
in his little
he fixes his own legs.
that's what I was gonna say. In his little front screen animation, he pulls his leg off and tightens it down, fixes it.
He knows his way around some tools.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I really wanted to get Revenant. I thought we were gonna have 4 picks. I really wanted to get Rev.
Why would you want Rev?
Because
I
listen,
don't
dude,
get that one.
if anything, that box is not coming with its own tools. I need something to be able to drill and screw into things.
He might drill and screw into you, Brian.
That's
Your whole team. Even.
I was like, he's an assassin.
Yeah.
possibly preferable.
Okay, let's go through our draft pick. Let's start with number 1. Kyle, you were pick number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Continue.
I had Rampart, Crypto, and Fuse because Rampart is just ultimately like one of the best builders. She builds a lot of the mechs and stuff
Makes the weapons
from
in Apex.
Titanfall, and then
She knows her way around the tools.
Yes, she built a lot of weapons and stuff, so she knows her way around building things. Crypto, just because I think the drone would be really helpful, and then he's probably
shine a
built
light.
like a PC or 2 in his time.
Definitely.
And then Fuse, because you got to have the glue guy that brings the team together, the honorary beer guy.
He's not the glue. He's the beer guy.
Yeah.
He's the beer guy.
The guy that like Crypto might be uptight, and Rampart might be trying to have a little fun, and the
Yes,
beer
sir.
just lets them all loosen up and hang out together.
Yes, sir. Okay, that does it for Kyle's team. Pick number 2 was Brian.
Yeah. So I had Watson, Bangalore, and Mirage.
Okay, let's go through each one. What is each one's role?
Okay, Watson, let's just be real. She's holding the directions the entire time and telling everybody what to put, where, and how to do it.
She built the storm system in Apex,
Yes.
and so she probably knows her way around some tools.
Very mechanically inclined.
Mm-hmm.
Very smart person. No one's ever questioned that about Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Bangalore is, let's be real, a couple things with Bangalore. She's going to get straight to the point. She's going to get shit done. And she's military. She's going to have some fucking fun afterwards.
Yeah, she knows how to read directions. She knows how to follow directions.
Mirage. Extra hands on deck. Hey, grab me a beer. He's got someone that can go do that for me.
Beer guy.
Yep, pretty much.
All right, I was pick number 3. I started off with Horizon, and then I went with Caustic. Both of these have the exact same thing. They're brains. That's it. I just wanted brains. Why? Because I've built a lot of furniture, and I always seem to put one of the sides on backwards, and then I have to restart. I just need them to stop me before I do that, before I put something on backwards. So I just needed brains. Also, I feel like if you have a little bit of brains, you can figure out how to build some furniture. Although a lot of the times in those like furniture manuals, it's so unclear what they want.
It's hard.
On so many of them, it's ridiculous. Walmart actually has surprisingly good directions, but
The
if
Swedish
you go to-
do not give you good directions.
they do not. They're good at many things like fish, but they don't give good directions.
Meatballs.
Meatballs as well. Hockey. My third pick was Bloodhound. Now, Bloodhound, all I want them to do is just scan because I'm going to lose some shit. I know myself. I know myself better than anybody in the world. I know how much I lose stuff, and I also know when I do lose stuff, I get very mad and I fly off the handle, and I don't want to do that. So Bloodhound is there strictly to scan the floor so I can pick up the part that I just lost, and then I can get back to work.
I
That's
just
what it's there
picture
for.
you also introducing beer to like Bloodhound.
Just gets wasted off one sip. Just,
Oh, yeah. And then pick number 4 was Chris.
all right, I also know myself very well. So my number 1 pick was Loba because, let's be real,
You need Loba.
I need Loba.
You need something-
That's my significant other.
It's
That's
hard-
the motivation for
it's-
me to get everything done.
It's hard to fly off the handle when there's like a super hot chick right
Yeah,
next
I
to you.
can't. I can't freak out because it's going to turn her off.
Yeah. It's gonna be an ick. She's not
It's
gonna
going to
want
be an
it.
ick.
There you go.
All right, number 2, Lifeline. Morale boost.
Boost.
She's there to
Keep
have
it
fun,
calm.
keep everyone cool, and then let's be real. Number 3, Octane. He's doing all the work.
He's gonna do all the work. He's gonna do it quickly. If he's gonna do it right, really depends on you.
Yeah, I gotta point him in the right direction. Make sure I gotta watch him.
Yeah.
He's gonna be moving fast. It's gonna be tough to watch him, but. True.
Have you ever seen the creations like you see these videos on Twitter all the time where it's like crackheads like will make a vehicle out of like
Oh, yeah.
like a grocery cart from Target and like a lawnmower motor or something like that, and they're just driving around,
Octane
filling
could
it up with
build
gas.
something, whatever you want out of nothing.
Crackheads can make whatever they want. They always do it. Have you seen the video on Twitter that was circling a few years ago where there was like a crackhead on like a freeway over ramp, and he was just like doing trapeze on it? It was fucking
Yes.
insane.
Oh, I seen that one.
did
Yeah,
Dude,
see
it was
that.
crazy. Dude, if I need to find that video and show you after the.
I've
after
never
the
seen
show.
that video. You
It
gotta
is
send that to me.
insane. He looks like Spider-Man. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, all right, that should just about do it for the Rogue Energy Draft of the week. Don't forget to head on down to rogueenergy.com where you can use code BANNER, BANNER, for 10% off all Rogue Energy products. Go get yourself a starter pack. Go get yourself a tub of all the great energy drink.
The good
Energy.
flavors.
You have powder.
They got the powders.
They got
They
the
got the
powders.
They got the powders.
They got the powders.
That's all we want. That's all we want is the powders. Banner, code BANNER, BANNER, 10% off. All right, boys and girls, we're going to head into our discussion talking about the best town takeovers in Apex Legends. But before we do that, is Amaranth live? The record on the season is 3-4.
Yeah.
She's negative.
I famously predicted 40-12.
Foolish.
It
Just
is
foolish.
not.
Bad.
It is not looking.
I
good
said it was
for
going to
me.
be slightly negative.
I need this ammo, please. I fucking need this ammo, please. Give it to me.
No.
3 and
Not
5.
live.
3 and 5.
Son of a bitch.
I'm telling you, man. She doesn't stream it this time.
Bro,
Gosh,
I'm telling
damn
you
it.
right now, she's not always
She's too
on.
busy buying gas stations and shit.
She's too
She's
busy
bought a gas
buying.
station.
Terrible
She
rap
bought
songs
multiple gas stations.
Wait, she
Fucking
made a
damn it.
rap song?
about her gas station.
Bought 'em.
No,
It was one of the worst songs I'm not being like. I know I over exaggerate a lot. It was the worst song I've ever heard.
No.
It was so bad.
Time out.
It was literally the
It's
worst
a rap song.
It is so bad, Chris. It is so bad. Once we listen to this, you guys are gonna wish you had never heard it.
So we're gonna have to listen to it.
Yes,
Oh,
but you're
God.
gonna wish you didn't because it is that bad. Anyway, Amaranth is live 3-5 on
3
the
and 5.
season. It's
She-
not. It is not looking. Good
It's looking
for me.
like she's going 3 and
for
49.
whatever 49. It's fucking terrible. Amaranth is not live. All right, we're gonna hit a quick ad and we will see you guys on the other side for the town takeover. All right, here we are talking about the best town takeovers in Apex history. Now, I want to preface this by saying I don't think there's a bad town takeover. I think all of them are pretty decent, and I would also say all of them have done a good thing for the map that they are on.
I want to argue this. But
Really?
Go ahead.
Which one?
I didn't like Wraith.
You don't like
I
Wraiths?
don't really care
The
for
thing
Wraiths.
with Wraiths was when it dropped, which is when everyone wants to go there. So everyone's dropping there. You never
Yeah.
make it out. It's got good loot if you can live.
It's got amazing loot.
It's got good loot if you can survive.
Yeah.
But it just turned me off completely because I couldn't drop there.
It's one of the few places on Kings Canyon I actually like right now.
It got better when Capacitor became a part of the map.
Yes. Yeah.
Before Capacitor, it was a lot worse.
It was a lot worse. Yes. I can agree with that because it was like the first like big map change
Yeah.
kind of thing.
That was the first town takeover, right?
And that
Yeah.
area of the map really needed it.
It needed
too.
it. It needed it.
But honestly, it works. It does its job. It's a slight change up, but it needed Capacitor to be there.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Let's run through all the town takeovers just to refresh everybody real quick. We'll start off with all the ones on Kings Canyon. We got Caustic's town takeover, which went over water treatment plant. We have Crypto's, which is also on Kings Canyon in the lower, like the southern part of the map, southeastern part of the map. We also have Wraiths that we just talked about, which is more mid-map,
Yeah.
and Octanes, which is southwestern part of the map. So those are all the ones on Kings Canyon. You can also kind of
Mirage
consider
Voyage was there.
Mirage Voyage, but it was only there for like a month or two.
Loved it there though.
It was awesome. It was actually a good spot.
Yeah.
Let's get to the other ones. Those were the ones on Kings Canyon. The ones on World's Edge. We've got Bloodhound's Town Takeover, which is interesting, to say the least. And then you also have Mirages. That was there for a long time. And then you have Rampart's Big Mod, which broke the game for a week, but it came back. And I think people have bad memories from that.
Why did it break the game?
you just couldn't play the BR. You could only play arenas. And if
Oh,
you held
you
a
just-
gun to my head and said I'm about to shoot you in the face, I still wouldn't play
You
arenas.
say shoot me.
Yeah, so I'd say shoot
Say
me.
pull the trigger right now.
And then the last town takeover is Pathfinder's Fight Night. That is on Olympus. Obviously, none on Stormpoint, and the only one on Olympus is Pathfinder's Fight Night. Now, boys, we got to figure out what's the best one here. I would instantly eliminate one, which is Octane's on
What?
Kings Canyon.
That's-
There's zero loot.
That's the
Doesn't
one you
matter.
eliminate.
There's
That-
zero
out
loot.
of all of them.
Doesn't
Loot is
matter.
not
There's
great.
Doesn't matter
zero
about the
loot.
loot.
Yeah,
It does.
it takes
Loot-
over a huge
loot-
part of the map.
Loot takes a factor, but that's not.
It's so much fun to fight at, though.
There's
I think
it's
If you're already established,
yeah.
I would say okay, but
It's-
I'm looking at it as like
it's
there's
good
got
for
to be
two
loot
squads.
there.
I'm not
it's good for
dropping
two
there.
squads. I'll drop there consistently.
I dropped.
I
all
would
the time.
never drop.
I
there.
used to drop
I-
there when it was always a purple shield in the middle. I'd always get purple.
I will still continuously drop there this season during ranked.
during ranked.
I will not
I'll
be
do it.
playing ranked.
You
with
also use the EVA 8 and the longbow.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite videos of all time. I love that video
Bro.
so much. If you don't want to eliminate Octanes, then which one would you eliminate?
Bro, Bloodhound. It's in a
That's
part
the-
of it's in a part of the map
Yeah.
that doesn't get used. It is the only one of these entire things that can actually kill you.
And it's loud as fuck.
It's so loud.
So loud.
It's you're asking to get killed if you go there and actually do the trials to get the good loot.
Okay, I would say that's a contender. I do think though that at least even if you don't do the trials of it, like you could still get loot.
Yeah.
That though my only issue with
You're
Octanes,
gonna get
it's
mediocre
one of
loot.
no, it
The
has
worst-
good loot.
It has pretty good guns.
Yeah, it's pretty
You're gonna
good
get
loot.
guns. You're not gonna get anything
It also
else.
has the
that's
sniper
true.
tower up top, so you could also go up there and get stuff
Sniper
from
Tower
there.
was there before.
Ooh, can we all agree that Octanes has the worst loot?
No.
Yeah.
Which one has worse loot than Octanes?
No, I think you're right.
It's kind of not a big area.
Mirages was kind of
Mirages
hit
weren't
and
that
miss.
Mirages looked worse because
Can-
so many people landed
How's
on
this
it.
sound? Can we agree that the three worst out of all of them are Crypto Mirage or not Crypto?
No.
Not
Okay.
Crypto. Not Crypto.
I almost had
I
a
was
heart
out of
attack.
hands.
I almost had a-
I
almost
said
had a
the
heart
wrong name.
attack.
I said the wrong name. Octane, Mirage, and Bloodhound are by far the three worst. Like
Yeah.
there's
I
a,
can agree with that.
there's a
agree.
clear drop off
Mirage
between the
Voyage.
top end and those.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree
It
with
just
that.
holds a special
Loot-wise,
place. in
I
my
get
heart.
that because we used to all drop there at Mirage, remember?
Yeah.
That was like our
Mirage
drop
is-
spot.
Listen, Mirage is cool. It's fun to fight at, stuff like that. I get it. Octane is probably the best one to fight at. It's really fun to fight at Octane. Loot is a little bit of lacking.
It's
but
dry.
It's
Yeah.
enough.
Dry.
It's dry.
Late game,
Wi-
it's great.
The little addition of the tiny mini city to the just to the east of it.
That would
really
be huge.
Well, the one that's there already, over the mountain.
Oh, I know what you're talking
that
about.
really helped when they expanded that a little bit.
It's a little too far
because-
away to consider it part of it, though.
It's not part of it, but I'm looking at it as you can peel off to it. It gave it a good peel off spot, and I feel like that really helped me dropping there consistently.
Okay, I can get behind that, but if we're looking at it just as the spot itself,
Just as the spot, I
It's
get
the-
it.
yeah.
I get it. It's not the worst.
It's
I
doesn't
said
it's
have-
not the. I would say it's the worst as far as loot, but when you guys bring, I was only looking at it loot wise.
No.
If we're bringing in fighting factor, then it's not the
Bloodhound.
worst.
It's gotta be
Bloodhounds is the
Bloodhound.
toughest because you get third party there so much.
You get
Yeah.
third party. They have immense high ground on you.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you're also getting your third partying yourself with the fucking prowlers.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Okay, so yeah, I can agree with that. Mirage, I think we do look at it weirdly because so many people landed there that it felt like it was hard to get loot. But if it's just you're all three of your teammates are going to be like fully looted.
kidded.
Yeah, kitted out. But the odds of that happening aren't very high. I will say the funnest one but just fun factor is definitely Mirage's. Mirage has like the party.
just a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
you got the party.
feel.
You've got
That's
all the cool shit. You got Mirage dancing around. You got the photos of him. Like
Anytime you would fight on the Mirage Voyage, it was always so much fun too, because like you'd like drop below the ship, then you'd have to go back up on the ship, and
Do you
like
guys remember when we were doing the boxing championship and had to change the name of it because the Pathfinder POI came in?
No, I changed it because UFC was called Fight Night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I changed. That's
Oh.
why I changed it.
Oh, yeah.
UFC had Fight Night, so I changed it to Boxing Championship.
Okay,
But I don't think the UFC would have been like, "Oh
I
my
don't-
god, we got to sue these guys."
Well,
Shut them down.
you know, you never know.
yeah. No,
shutting
don't
down
mess
this
with Dana
Apex
White.
podcast.
Don't mess with Dana White.
Okay, so we can get those out of the way.
Worst.
Though, like they're not going to be the best. I don't
not
think
up there.
any of these are bad. I love all
Just
the town
out of all of
takeovers.
them.
There hasn't been a town takeover I'm like, that one fucking sucks. All of these have been great. But we can eliminate those at least as not the best.
So what does that leave if we do eliminate?
So we do have, so we've got caustics, cryptos. We have, did you say wraiths in that? No, you didn't say wraiths.
No, I didn't say wraith.
Okay, so we got caustic, crypto, wraith, pathfinder,
Rampart.
and rampart.
Okay. So
I want to eliminate one right off the rip that I think we can all agree on. Caustics.
what?
Caustics is not the best. No, I'm talking about the best. The best.
You're saying it's not the best.
Not the best.
Not the
No.
best.
Not
Hold
the
on.
best.
So 4 guaranteed gold items, multiple divisions to fight in.
that a
You
fact?
could have, yeah.
Oh.
That's a fact. 4 guaranteed gold items every time you drop there. Multiple epics and rares. You have amazing, like, defendable locations within the map itself. A secret hidden room that had its own story. You've got a jump tower in the back to rotate out of. And it's in a division where if anyone is going to push you from an outside POI, they have to travel quite a ways to do so. I actually think it could be quite good. Like, I think that's pretty high.
Okay. I'm going to counter argue with all of the same things that you just said, except you get to scan the entire map
Yep.
and see where everybody is.
Crypto.
No gold.
No gold.
There's no gold,
No
but, I
guaranteed
mean-
4 golds. Like, you're guaranteeing yourself the gold weapon, which is huge. Early game, that's huge. Gold armor, most time gold armor or a gold helmet, which can both be very beneficial. And you're looking at gold knockdown shield normally, and
Then just 2 gold weapons.
2 gold weapons. Yeah, 2 gold weapons. So 2 gold weapons. You take your choice of the best, or take them both and be a selfish teammate like Kyle, and then you get
Yes.
That's what he is.
some sort of support thing like armor, knockdown shield, or helmet. Some
Or you take
combination.
all 4 and say, fuck them.
That's
Fuck
also
your
Kyle.
teammates.
Kyle has done that.
Okay.
Just dripped out.
I'm
Dripped
I'm
out
still.
gold.
I think caustic and crypto can go head to head. I think they
Yeah.
could. If that was a fight in a boxing ring,
That's-
that'd go the distance.
Yep.
That'd go to the cards.
Yeah.
Because that really just
Crypt-
depends on who's
Now,
watching it.
that
I don't
being
think
said-
Wraiths is that good.
I don't
Wraiths
either.
isn't the best.
It's
I don't
mid.
think Wraiths.
Because
Wraiths
right
is
now
mid.
we're talking. It's good. We're not talking the best.
It's
Wraiths is not
it's
there.
better than the other 3 we ruled out earlier. I
It's
think
better
Wraith
than
is the
those.
first one you knock out.
Yeah, I would say that.
I think
Oh.
Wraith is the first one you knock out. After those 3, like Wraith is the next worst.
Do you guys think we look downward upon Pathfinders because so many fucking people land there that it's like impossible to ever enjoy it?
I really do like Pathfinder.
I do
I
too,
love
but you
fighting
can never
it.
go there.
I love fighting it. Even if you land there or go there after it's already been ran through, there's still a ton of loot.
So much left.
There's so much left. You can still find it all. There's a ton of items in the middle. You
Yeah.
guarantee yourself gold and purple every time you go there. It's great. I think it's good. And it's got a free space in the middle that protects you.
And you could just box somebody's face in.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome. I
is
actually
awesome.
love Pathfinder.
I do
it's
too.
fun.
I'm just asking if we look down upon it as
I-
not the best because everybody lands there.
I don't look down on it for that.
I'm gonna throw my hand up and say best looking one. I think it's the best looking. You got
I
the
like the
Pathfinder
aesthetics.
statue out front. You have the ring with like the cool aesthetic around it. Then you have the room up top where everybody you're assuming is
Spectator
gambling,
room.
expectating. You got all that
Really-
cool stuff.
And
It's
you've got
really
an
good.
announcer.
Yes,
Every
the
time
announcer.
someone goes in the ring, it's like.
Which I'm pretty sure is just the Bangalore voice actor doing that.
It
It
kind of
sounds
fucks you,
exactly
but
the same.
It's cool.
Best looking?
Yeah, it's
Question mark?
that's tough.
I kind of think the Bloodhound one's pretty cool looking.
It is cool.
Bloodhound's cool. Bloodhound is cool looking. Pathfinder's cool looking. I think Caustic's very fitting and very
It's fitting.
on theme,
Very
which I really
Yeah.
take appreciation. Like,
most fitting, caustic.
yes, Pathfinder's is probably the least fitting.
Yeah,
You
because
just have a random boxing ring thrown into the middle of a map.
I mean,
Like,
it kind of does make sense where he has the boxing gloves as the heirloom, but
I
I
get-
would still say Caustic's is above.
well, I get the boxing ring for Pathfinder. I get that.
Yeah.
But if you're throwing a boxing ring on Olympus, where it's
Why
at on
is it
its
there?
placement on Olympus is just weird.
Okay, here's what
That's
we're
what
going
I
to do.
think.
Here's what we're going to do. We're all over the place, so I'm going to narrow this down. All of us are going to go through, and we're just going to say our best one right off rip. Chris, knock it off.
Crypto.
Cryptos, explain.
Honestly, the loot's good most of the time. Honestly, all the time.
It's always good.
Always good. And the scan is just, I mean,
It's
that's
incredible.
just such
Is
good
it
utility.
our favorite or what do we?
Your favorite.
Yeah, your
just
number
your
one.
favorite.
That's it. Just
Yeah,
scan and loot. I mean,
I'm going to go with Chris on that. My favorite is Cryptos as well. It's one of the few places on what's left of Kings Canyon that I enjoy. And and it's not even just the scan. Like, the scan's cool and all. I'll just land there without scanning because I just enjoy the loot that you get there, and I think fighting there is really fun.
Yeah.
You have the high ground, you have the building, you have the back part of the building where the ship is. There's lots of cool
You
areas.
got a lot
right
of
there.
room to fight.
Yes, and then you have the ultimate thing, the ultimate charge-up thing.
And you have a hold.
You have a explosive hold, and you have a balloon right there. I think it's just a great spot all the way around. Brian.
Fuck, that's tough. That's tough.
It's tough.
Because it's actually really close between these two, but I have to say it's going to go to Caustic.
Okay.
Caustic's facility. The amount of loot that you get from there, if it's not where I land, it's where I rotate to first on the map.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that rotation, my next one is to Crypto's place.
Yeah.
So it's really tough. I like to hit both those at the same time, but I got to go Caustics. You get better guns right off the rip, guaranteed to you. A lot of times there's many places you can land and land directly onto a gun without having to run through any major doors or anything like that, which is very nice. And I actually think that that's one of the biggest things for me. If people are flooding the inside of the actual main building, you have the little like fan things that you never want to get on top of because you're dead if you do, that you can go to and pick up guns and then engage in the fight. It allows you to third party really well in that sense. So I think that it's got to go to Caustic for me.
Okay, Kyle.
You guys are all going off loot and stuff. Honestly, I only care about like the fun of the fighting factor when you're at them. And like honestly, I love fighting at Octane's place.
Okay.
Octane is by far my favorite so much. I don't care if the loot's shitty as long as I can get a gun and we can just go ham on somebody off jump pads and shit.
There's been so many feel bad moments at that one for me that it's hard for me to ever feel that way, and that might just be a personal experience just because I'll land on a Mozambique.
Yeah, you land and you don't get to fight pretty much because you have no loot.
Yeah, but late game we fought there a lot of times.
You get some crazy fights late game.
You get crazy fights late game. Even early game, like if you know certain areas to land, you can guarantee 3 to 5 loot pills to yourself, and that should give you enough of a chance to have a legitimate fight in that.
Yeah, I do have one special place in my heart for it because remember Apex Solos when they did that for like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I did win one solo match on that. I think it was my only solo win was on Octane's place. And my heart was beating so fast after that. So I don't know. I do agree that it's fun to fight on. I just wish the loot was a little bit better.
The loot should be a little bit better, but I will say that like the fighting, like if you're thinking of all the town takeovers, like it's just the most fun to fight at, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Sweet. Let's go by best looks then. We already talked a little bit about it, but best looks.
I like Mirages.
Mirage.
I like that you can
fun.
see it from across the map.
Yeah.
Because of the fireworks.
I love that you can start a party, and I love that even though the party's over, like all the things have already dropped, you could just start the fucking party again.
You can keep
fireworks go off.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I love that.
I actually really like that, especially the way lobbies have been. It's a great way to call people in. But Mirage is one of my favorite looking maps or favorite looking POIs in the entire game, let alone out of the character ones.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and say Pathfinders again. I already said it before, but I just love the aesthetic of Pathfinders. I love the fact that you have that it really sets it over the edge for me is the statue out front.
Yeah.
The statue out front is so cool.
It's like the Rocky statue, but it's like him.
And it has like a cool lighting on it. Have you guys ever the lighting's really cool?
I've never noticed that.
Yeah.
Go look at the stat. Dude, you'll
is it on
appreciate it.
Is it on the high side or the low side?
It's on the docks side.
Yeah.
So if you're coming
Dock
out
side,
of docks,
okay.
you'll see it.
Yeah.
But I love that statue. It really puts it over the edge. Kyle.
I really like Bloodhounds. I always thought the ravens sticking out of the mountain and everything have always been super cool to me, in my opinion.
What?
What?
I mean, it does look good. Like,
Yeah.
Bloodhound. It does. I like it. Kind of fits Bloodhound's aesthetic.
The outside looks good.
Yeah, that's what I'm
The
saying.
inside looks like dog shit.
Well, no fucking shit. I'm not talking about the inside.
Well, I mean, that's part of the aesthetic of the POI.
No, the aesthetic of the POI is mostly the outside.
What are you looking at the most? Are you looking at the POI from a distance, or do you want to go to the POI and be in
Kyle's
it?
superficial. He only looks at the outside. He
yeah,
never looks on
he
what's
never-
on the
he
inside.
never
Yeah, I
digs
only
deep.
care about what's on the
He
outside,
doesn't
Brian.
dig deep, bro.
New Bachelor topic.
Yeah, new Bachelor topic.
Fuck you.
Okay, last one before we move on to the next segment. Who should get the next town takeover? I'm gonna start off with Brian here.
Do you really want my answer?
Yeah,
Watson.
yeah. I'd love it.
Oh, no.
Watson, she's been in the game forever. I'd love to see a town takeover.
Which map?
Let's give it to Storm Point.
Okay.
And have a reason for it.
Okay.
Give it to Storm Point. Delayed ring access. So the ring's going to get there slightly later. Like it'll kind of bubble protect for a second, like a
Heat
shield for a split second. And also a slight passive regen to everybody's shield within. Make it like Storm Point, but add a heat shield to it to give you a little extra time.
You mean make it like a control?
Control, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Make it like control.
That'd
on
be
Storm
cool.
Point.
Yeah,
I think that'd be
that's
cool.
sick.
And I say, you want to know where I think that goes? Southern portion of the map. You know where that island of prowlers are? Blow that shit up. Nobody's
Yeah.
using that space.
No,
All that
nobody's
water
using
there. Build something there. Make it Watson's place. And have it give a passive regen. How much would you guys like a passive regen in a poke fight?
Yeah.
That
That'd be
actually
cool.
goes sick.
That'd be
Right?
cool.
And you don't have to worry about the storm because you got extra time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let people extend the fight.
Kyle.
I actually always thought it would be really cool if Revenant ever got one, but it was like a horror, like a
Like a horror house?
Yeah, like a horror house, like a
Not a horror house.
Not a
Scary-
horror
like a
house.
scary place.
Like a
definitely heard
A
those.
scary place. Scary place is a better way to say it. Let's say scary place.
Scary place,
Yeah.
not a anyways,
Not a brothel.
not a brothel. Anyways, so I always thought that would be cool. Like if you had like a haunted mansion feel type thing.
Okay.
Like that would be kind of.
That would have to go, I would think, on Kings Canyon.
It's got to go at Halloween time too.
Yeah.
So it's like a
And Kings Canyon was the original Halloween like map.
map. Yeah.
So
I don't know where you'd put it, but I think it would be super cool if you got that.
Okay.
Like a ghost town kind of feel or something like that.
Yeah. If I had to pick one, I would probably do Lifeline. Now, I have a bias because Lifeline was my original main. I have plenty of hours on Lifeline, but I actually have a good reason behind it too. I would also want it to be on Storm Point, but if you've noticed, a lot of the buildings on Storm Points look like infirmaries. They have like the hospital vibe.
Yeah.
If you had some sort of like hospital POI with Lifeline on that western side of Lifeline or of Storm Point where Lightning Rod is.
Yeah.
Is that western or eastern?
That's northern. Storm Point's or
No,
Lightning
on that-
Rod's northern.
I know that, but like on the side it's on. Is it west or east?
East.
It's slightly east.
Okay.
It's
yeah,
it's
so
relatively central.
What?
no. What I'm saying is like the side of the map.
The side of
The
the
side
map.
of the
He's
map
on-
it's
It's on
on.
the east side.
It's slightly east. It's not all the way. There's a chunk of space next to it, isn't there?
No, it's all the way
It's all the way
on
to
the
the
end.
top. Yeah.
It's all the way on the end of it. Is it east? Like it's all
Like
the
I know
way-
it's on the northernmost part of the map. I thought it was more like
No,
central.
it's-
than
Oh,
it
it's
was
east. It's
No,
east.
it's on the
east.
east
It's
side.
definitely
Eastern.
east.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but on that eastern side of the map where there's nothing there but Lightning Rod, I would like to see like maybe a little bit lower, more central part of the eastern side.
Yeah.
You have like a infirmary type thing with lifelines, town takeover. It definitely needs it. Storm Point on that side of the map, there's literally nothing there but Lightning Rod,
Yeah.
and nobody really lands there. So I'd like to see something like that where.
What
we
if she
could
got
have-
like her own like hospital?
That's what I'm saying. Like you could have some sort of infirmary because they already have like hospital buildings on Storm Point.
Yeah.
So you could have something more like that, but make it bigger and have it look a little bit better. I think that would be really cool.
That would be sick.
All right, Chris.
Sorry. Shit. I want to say Bangalore doesn't have one, right?
No, Bangalore doesn't.
I would say Bang. Just a bunch of smoke play. I
Okay.
love smoke play.
Smoke play. You could, like you could, like interact with stuff.
Yeah.
Have smoke come out.
The only problem is I would put it on like Kings Canyon, but there's so many on Kings Canyon already.
Put it in where Skulltown should be, or like where it was. You know.
Just bring Skulltown back.
Just add a bunch
Fucking
of smoke.
smokes.
I don't want a town takeover. I want Skulltown back, you fucks.
Just disguise it as a town takeover.
Exactly. Speaking of Kings Canyon and Skulltown, we are going to move on from the discussion of town takeovers, and we're going to move on into the discussion about how to fix Kings Canyon. We're going to hit a quick ad. We will see you guys on the other side. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Last week, the boys fixed Storm Point, and we really did. We
did.
We had all the greatest ideas, and actually, it's kind of weird. We didn't have any bad ideas.
None.
It's almost like we're smarter than every
We're
single
just-
person.
Ever.
Giant brains.
I think we just have huge, wrinkly brains.
I don't like to brag about it.
Very
No,
wrinkly.
we don't like to
It's
do
low-key.
it.
It's low-key.
It's very low key. We don't like to talk about
Low
it.
key, the wrinkliest brains though.
So much wrinkles. So much
Hire
wrinkles.
us.
Yes.
But this week, the boys are going to fix Kings Canyon. Now, boys, before we have to fix something, we have to figure out what the problems are. And I have a feeling Brian's going to start saying some bullshit
Nothing.
right
There's
now.
nothing wrong.
Well,
There's
I
not-
was going to say the same thing. I have
I
one
know.
big thing that's wrong with Kings Canyon.
I actually do have something that's wrong with it, but aside from that, I love this map.
It's a
All
great
right,
map.
Let us have
You know
this.
what? Go ahead. Just start talking because I want to hear. I want to
mean-
hear.
What is
Chris,
your
I hope it's the same thing I think.
what is your one
I mean,
problem?
there's just one huge thing that everyone's thinking.
The massive hole in the bottom left corner of the map where Skulltown should be.
Yeah, obviously.
That's
gotta
it.
have it.
I mean,
That's the biggest issue in this map.
that POI sucks cock, by the way.
Even if you
I hate
don't,
it.
even if you don't have
It's not even-
Skulltown,
It's not even POI.
Is it not?
It's a it is, but it's like a side. Like there's still a hole where Skulltown Thunderdome used to
Yeah.
be.
and even if you don't bring back Skulltown, you gotta bring back something.
Bring back
Some
in that
Mirage
spot.
Voyage
They-
at the Skull.
That would help. It still needs more. They destroyed part of the map with Skulltown, and then they opened up another part of the map up north, relatively close to the same size that the whole Skulltown portion that pretty much fell off and died was. They need something to bring that back. If you have both of those at the same time, this map, it's probably close to big enough for the 60-player lobbies in today's Apex. And I think that would fix a lot of the issues with it.
Another one is the verticality. Some of the spots, since they've added new characters with more movement, it is harder to... They need to make it so everyone can get to some of these spots.
And I do feel like they didn't think this
They
through
should just-
because they didn't know this game was going to pop
Yeah,
off.
no,
like
that's
this.
the thing.
They didn't know that they were going to have 4 white guys sitting in a room talking about it every week for the last year. They didn't know that. They had no clue.
You can't predict.
You can't
that.
predict that.
Right.
But-
I don't know if that's as much of an issue.
I just think
Like-
just throw zip lines on and it's a little better.
Isn't that part of the whole game being a team game?
I guess.
You pick certain legends because they have the ability to take that verticality.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a map that is going to have to be you choose certain styles of legends on your team to help facilitate. They're not mandatory. You can still find a way to run up there and get around, but like there are certain things that you get a lot easier if you have a Pathfinder, an Ash, a Octane, a Valk. They always help it. Any mobility always helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have a lot of my problems were what you guys just said. Skulltown. I have another one that's the verticality. I have another one that's kind of a little different, and I've never seen this opinion out there yet, but I really think it should be more prominent. Swamps is really good for one thing, the personality of the map. A lot of that personality has gone away. And I miss it. I miss it desperately. It actually felt like you were playing on like an outland area where it was you're on the edge of the universe.
Yeah.
Nobody knows you're there. I miss that a lot. That's actually one of my big problems too. Is it lost its personality? There's no
It's just
outlands feel
like a
anymore.
desert almost.
Yeah. Now it has all the fancy buildings and it has all the crazy stuff, and it just kind of feels like a scientist playground. But swamps, it has the personality. One thing that I think should happen, though, is right above swamps you have repulsor and hydro dam. I think you not destroy them, but that back part of it where that leads into swamps, I think it needs to go in like a ramp upward. So maybe like some sort of explosion drops down and has it kind of be able to feed into it.
Are you
I
talking
think that
on-
would make swamps
Make 'em flow
more.
better.
You're talking on the southern part, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that you could have swamps fill into that more easily, because I think there's only just like a few zip lines that you could use to get up to those areas.
I would be okay with seeing like some rivers come off of that and head down there.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is if you can feed swamps into the rest of the map more freely, it opens up a whole nother portion of the map that really, I would argue, has not been used to its full potential. And I think early in this podcast we talked about how swamps was like an area that they maybe were going to put a town takeover in, or maybe they were going to change up a little bit, and they never did. That's actually the biggest surprise to me about Kings Canyon was they haven't really messed around with swamps. Even Fortnite had like a swamps area, and they changed the shit out of it.
Yeah.
But the swamps area needs like more accessibility to the rest of that area of the map.
It got definitely neglected quite a bit.
And
Yeah.
it's a great looking area.
It is.
I mean, that's
like I said,
like
I don't want
top
them.
two.
I don't want them to change the personality of the area. Just maybe ramp it down into
Small
those
adjustments.
Yeah, just like because it's one giant building, right?
Yeah.
and then it just drops off into the ground. Now, if you just had if you had like the back area destroyed a little bit where it kind of feeds in, and maybe you have some like cover where there's rocks and maybe some cars, some loot areas right there, pills. I think that would be really cool. I think that would actually really kind of make the map flow a little bit better in that part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys have any other problems with it?
I'm trying to think of what.
My biggest problem is just the personality. You lost the personality when you started adding all the buildings and stuff like that. And I understand, like, you kind of have to when you're adding bigger stuff. But I would argue, why don't you add in more of those shantytown buildings? So why don't you add in more of those? Because the more futuristic looking ones, it takes away from, like, what the map's entire vibe was.
What the feel was.
Yeah, it had, like, a grunge, like... This is a poor area for people who are neglected. They don't know the rest of the world. They're on the edge of the universe, like a Tatooine Star Wars feel, right?
Yeah.
And it lost that because you got rid of Skulltown.
I mean, that's
which
like
was,
the big Skulltown and Thunderdome. It's
it was like a city built on a dead ass skeleton. And it was
you
just
replaced
sitting there.
it with a fucking salvage.
Yeah, it was like a salvage
And
yard,
then
but
they
it was
also
developed.
They also did away with slums. They did away with bridges, and they did away with. Well, you already said Thunderdome.
Slums is actually a big miss.
Slum lakes. Like,
Yeah.
I like Slum Lakes.
I
but
did
I
love Slum
also
Lakes.
really
But
like the new place.
I really like the new place, but as far as the personality of the map went, there were a few places in this map that spoke above anything else. Skulltown, Thunderdome, barren wastelands, slums. It was slums. Like, that's what it is. And then you had bridges, which was a couple small huts that were surrounding the river, the water down low, and were surrounded by basically barren caves.
Yeah.
It was a very poor, very basically neglected area, but it was amazing for gunfights, gameplay, everything like that was just awesome.
Yeah, and that's kind of where you lose. I think you actually lost a major part of the personality once you lost Bridges, because Bridges was like, when you think about a city that is it's poor, or you think about an area that in general, like a developing area, everything goes next to the water.
Yeah.
And you had bridges right next to the water. You had slum lakes right next to the water. You had all these areas. Skulltown was the only one that wasn't, but Skulltown was like a western barren wasteland.
Yeah.
You had like that awesome feel. And you could even the soundtrack behind Skulltown back in the old days, it was something I paid attention to, because you had like this weird like soundtrack in the background when you were playing the game of like distant yells and screams. They even got rid of that. So it's like you don't have that feel that you're alone on this random planet in this random area that nobody will ever know you existed. And I kind of miss that. I miss that feel. I miss having that. But that's my biggest issue with Skulltown. All the other things, though, are probably more important for gameplay.
I have one thing that's kind of gameplay-esque that's a big problem with me, is the map is too small and there's too much mobility.
Mm-hmm.
The balloons, they give you too many fucking balloons. There's too many ways to move around the damn map, and especially with Valk nowadays, like, you could just fly across the entire map.
2 Valk
easy.
bolts, you could clear the map.
Yeah, exactly.
To
Like,
be
it's not...
To be honest,
Not
you
even
could probably
tough.
just get rid of half the balloons in the map and be perfectly fine.
That's what I
I
think.
like the
Replace,
size of the map.
replace
in the
all balloons with tridents.
Just
Just have
put-
tridents on the outside.
I don't
that'd be
even.
awesome.
I
I
don't
don't think
want
the tridents
tridents in
fit
this
the
map.
map, like aesthetic wise.
Yeah,
that does make sense, too.
I don't think that you need excess mobility in this map. Like, just get rid of them. Put one balloon on each corner of the map and call it done.
There's a reason the map works so well on launch.
Yeah.
Because there was not a lot of mobility character. There's Wraith
Yeah, there was Wraith, Pathfinder.
and Pathfinder.
That was
yeah.
it.
And
now they have
Octane,
incredible movement.
Valk.
Now they have
They got Octane. They
You
got.
could even
Valve.
argue Horizon. Horizon is crazy on this map.
on that map. Yeah.
So
there's a lot.
there's a lot. So everything's kind of changed since then.
Yeah.
So those are all the problems. Let's talk a little bit more about the solutions. How can you fix Skulltown? How can you bring it back to its original legacy awesomeness that it had when it first launched? How can you bring back Skulltown to what it was before?
You mean Kings Canyon?
Oh, sorry. How can you bring back Kings
That's your
Canyon to what it was before?
I mean, I think with all the new mobility characters and stuff like we just talked about, you got to take out like the centered balloons. You got to take those out, and then you got to you got to find a way to like kind of slow things down for everybody. So, because like with a Valkyl, you could clear the map like almost. You
You're
know what I
moving
mean?
halfway across the map, pretty much.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like if you can balloon and then Valkyl, like you're practically all the way across the other side of the map.
Yeah.
Like I think there's just got to be a way to like slow it down a little bit in the center at least.
I agree. I would also say, really, just a giant addition would be adding anything to where Skulltown is. I don't care if it's Skulltown. You don't have to bring it back. But if you can at least go down there, like into that area where it used to be, or something, you have to have something there. Something has to be there.
Just build
Something
some.
bigger at least.
Remember the trailer from Loba?
Yeah.
The Loba trailer where she like went underground
And
where
there was a
Skulltown
lab.
was, and it caused Skulltown to fall. Like, bring the lab.
The
I
lab
like
would be
even
great.
if we can travel underground to the lab, and that's a legitimate place to stay and fight throughout the game. I think that's very viable, and it
Yeah,
fits.
that's pretty cool.
Like it's something that fits the lore in it. Like,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I think if you add just something there, I will say it does have great POIs on the northern, like northeastern part of the map. Like
Yes.
there's the rig, I think it's called.
Yeah.
The rig is awesome. If there was, and the cool thing about the rig is it fits. I feel like it fits the personality.
Yeah.
It is more developed, but it has the same buildings. Like it has the exact same building type, building structure, but you also have all of the cool stuff. There's some other cool things that Kings Canyon has that other maps don't have, and one of those is the ultimate charge up thing.
Yeah,
That
the
is
holds,
awesome.
right?
Yeah. And the explosive holds. Explosive holds are awesome as well. I love those.
Yeah, but like also like the free getting the ult things like
Can't-
just lets you get the Valkyl
yeah, it
even
can be a
faster.
problem.
So then it's just like like I was saying before, it's just too much mobility.
So it really just comes down to removing balloons.
yeah, I
think
think
that'd be a huge help.
I
in
think
this game.
removing balloons and like even some of those ultimate things, like
There are
the
a lot of
ultimate accelerator things, like anytime you can instantly get your ultimate, a lot of legends have movement abilities, so like that just kind of ruins a lot of the stuff, being able to move so fast across the map.
Yeah. I agree with that. There's that one town next to Wraith's Town Takeover. It has two within like a 100-meter radius.
Yeah.
It has the one with the three buildings by themselves, and then the other
Capacitor.
one, and then it has the other one with all the buildings right next to it. So
Yeah.
it's like you don't need two there.
No,
Maybe just keep one over there, and you can call it
And they're
good.
so
Yeah,
close
it'd
to
be
each
fine.
other too. They're not even that far a walk.
Yeah,
I mean, we did the challenge with me a while back on the map. Remember?
yeah.
Where it was just how many balloons can I hit? Can I hit all the balloons? And it got to the point where I hit all the balloons, and I didn't have enough time to hit all of them again.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can continuously hit balloons and balloon hop in this map. They need to remove some of them, like drastically remove some of these maps.
I really do feel if they would have just kept original Kings Canyon and upped the loot availability,
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that version of the map because it actually had so many little tiny areas that make other maps great. Like World's Edge, what's so great about it is there's so many small areas where you could get at least somewhat looted to survive at least one fight to where you could loot yourself up more.
Yeah.
Kings Canyon had those originally. Like remember there was like the river, there was that one set of buildings up on the top ledge.
Yeah.
That you had to walk up to.
Yeah.
That had a lot of loot there. You also had the back next to Slum Lakes. There was that upper area on the mountain ledge right
Yep.
there too.
Yeah.
You had a lot of areas that had really solid loot. I mean, like really solid buildings for loot. They just didn't completely utilize how much loot could go in there.
I
Yeah.
mean, just bring back the original map, or at least the size of the original map, the layout, and add the new
Spotted Lakes.
Spotted
Yeah.
Lakes, the crash site. Add that and keep the original map, and that's probably going to be the best version you could get.
Yeah, I think that's honestly, and I don't know how you could do it. They'd have to find some weird way with the lore, but they've done weird shit like that before where like went back in time to get certain skins and shit. You go back a little bit in the lore, find a way, make it work. You did interdimensional space with Olympus.
At this point, they can make some shit up.
Yeah. Just do the zombies thing where you just fucking go into a different universe. I don't care.
Just retcon everything.
Yeah. Nobody cares about the lore. Nah, people do care. But anyway, just find something to change it and make it go back to what it was, but keep Crash Site, Spotted Lakes. I think that's how you fix Skulltown. That's probably the best way to do it.
I think you just add Skulltown back and you bring back Thunderdome and you bring back that little city behind it and you just leave spotted lakes.
That's the one thing people forget about Skulltown too. Is like it wasn't just Skulltown.
Thunderdome.
It was
so
Skulltown,
good.
Thunderdome, the city next to Thunderdome on the left, the city next to Thunderdome on the right. There was like 4 places in one that you just completely
Just
got rid
demoed.
of. You just completely got rid of it, and all of it was gone. And you miss out on all of that. Even if you don't get Skulltown back, like I said, make that area accessible in some way, shape, or form, because you're missing a huge part of the map. Like a giant part of the map is gone.
Honestly, and I think now with all like the good POIs and stuff, I don't even think Skulltown would be the number 1 drop place anymore.
No.
Yeah, it would.
I think for
I think-
nostalgia reasons,
yeah.
but I think if you kept the loot what it was when it first launched, and you also had Crash Site, I'd land Crash Site
Every time.
Market, baby.
or Market too. Market needs more loot too. That's another
Market needs
low
more.
key.
Market.
Market needs more loot.
Market doesn't need more loot; it needs better loot.
Better loot.
It needs to be a high tier loot spot again.
Yeah. Okay. I'd be down with that.
Yeah, I
I'd be
feel
down with
that.
that. All right, boys. I think we I think we fixed Kings Canyon.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with what we
I
said at
mean,
all.
Not that it needed fixing.
It needed fixed.
It did not.
definitely-
It needed it.
Still think it's the best map.
The best map out of this entire
They just
rotation.
high-fived?
The best map.
You're
The best
fucking
map.
me.
Did you not hear that?
Olympus World's
Dude,
Edge.
that was... I
Stormpoint.
heard that.
Listen, best map.
Out of this all 4
Yep.
maps,
Olympus
map.
comes close.
Kings Canyon the best one.
Let's play ranked. Let's play ranked Kings Canyon when it comes.
It's
Do
gonna
it.
come.
It's gonna come. Do it
gonna
this
come.
season.
Let's
I
do
will.
it.
I'm gonna be playing
I'm
it
gonna.
consistently.
I will actually play Apex.
Are you gonna get to Diamond?
Actually, I might.
No,
I might.
I don't know about that one.
Are you serious?
I hope so.
Are you
actually-
serious?
No, I'm
No, because
serious.
I'll support you.
I'm serious.
I will be happy for you. If
Dead
you do it.
serious.
Are you gonna solo?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
No,
No,
he's
I'm
not
not gonna
solo.
solo. I'm not gonna solo it.
All right, if you're gonna play,
If I can
give you
have,
an honest tip?
Can I have it at least one teammate while doing it? I don't have to
I'll
do
do
solo.
it.
You can have 2.
I'll do. No, you
Just
can have
at
teammates.
a
I don't
time.
care.
Okay,
I don't
no.
want you to do it solo.
Then I'll do it.
That's terrible.
Yeah, soloing.
No
it
one
would
here has
suck.
done it solo.
Soloing made me stop playing rank completely. Can I give you one tip?
I almost
Let me
did.
see. Get your kills and then hide the rest of the time. until you
No.
get
This is
placement.
an honest tip. If I were you, the loadout I would use, I'd go longbow, Eva 8.
True.
That's honest.
Listen, dude. Do you want to break? I'll break into plat with that.
No, you will not. Longbow
Is this a
Eva
bet?
8 exclusive. You're not.
Let's see
No,
it.
you're not
I'd
doing
love to
that.
see it.
Longbow Eva 8
Longbow Eva 8
only.
only exclusive. I will break into plat with that.
You heard it here first, folks.
I will break
fucking
into
guy.
plat with that.
You're not.
Done.
Wyatt, you're hurting our teams.
Done.
Yeah, team is
Done.
gonna be tough. It's gonna be a
Kyle,
rough
we're
question.
We're
I can't
really
wait
out.
for Dallin's face when I walk up
Stipulations
to him.
this. Stipulations. If I drop and there's no longbow or Eva 8
Well-
for me to grab, can I use a gun in turn while I'm looking for one, actively looking?
You got to end the game with
Yes.
the loadout.
Fine.
Late game, you have to have a longbow because you can buy
No,
it.
you need to have a longbow by 10 squads left.
Yeah.
Longbow
Well, I
Eva
mean-
8 by 10 squads.
Sometimes the RNG
RNG.
RNG does not allow that to happen.
Oh, there will be
no,
an
it's
Eva 8.
it's in the crafter.
It's in
It's
the
in the
crafter.
crafter.
One of them's
Okay.
in the crafter, and you can get the other one.
I should be able to get a
Eva 8s are
longbow.
everywhere.
It might take me till after the first fight, but I'll do it. I don't give a shit. I might have to use another gun with the Eva 8 in the first fight, or until it's safe to craft.
Am I allowed to yell at you if we
Of
lose?
course.
With a longbow Eva 8.
Well, yeah, I deserve to be yelled
Okay,
at
there we go.
if
All
we
right.
lose, because like
can't
I
wait
should
to
be
explain
bodying
to
everybody
Dallin.
with those guns.
Here's the thing: I can co-sign the longbow.
The
I like the
longbow's
longbow.
fine. It's not the longbow. It's really more
Eva
the Eva.
8.
When it's not even
tough.
just like like the fact that he said that in combination, like he was just
Yeah.
the greatest of all
Honestly,
time.
running sniper and shotgun ever.
Yeah.
It's
If
just
if you
Bro,
haven't
it's
seen the
full.
video,
If it wasn't
if
the
you
fact
haven't
that
seen the
it's a-
video, go check out our Instagram where Brian actually said the gun class I want is the longbow Eva 8. He
the gun
said
class,
that out
the
loud.
gun class I want is the longbow Eva.
That
8.
is
I will
Brian.
get to plat, not diamond, plat with the longbow Eva 8.
Okay. All right. Well. All right. That's just about do it for the boys fix Kings Canyon. It ended with just the worst.
With Brian fucking up our
That
whole
is- that
comp
is
team,
the
right?
worst.
Bro, I'm gonna be the best.
No,
Comp's
we're
gonna
I
gonna
be
got
tough.
this.
we're gonna move
Unlock.
on to Grab My Bachelor,
Unlock.
where we're gonna talk about
Give me more champagne.
some impressive things going on with Kyle, and then we're also gonna talk about someone in a relationship who's trying to pursue you. We're gonna hit a quick ad. We will see you guys on the other side. Love
the universal language. For some, love comes easy,
Could she be the one?
but for others, love doesn't come easy.
Sometimes, I don't think I'll ever find love.
Follow us as we take one man through his journey
I just want to find the one.
to find eternal and everlasting love.
I'm just tired of being in this bed alone.
There will be some highs
I like long walks on the beach.
and some lows,
Oh, I got a text. It's not from her, though.
but in the end, we hope to find love.
I just want a girl that completes me.
Welcome to Grab My Bachelor. All right, here we are. It's another edition of Grab My Bachelor. Kyle, we had a conversation on the phone earlier, and we came to a realization that Kyle is SpongeBob. And if you don't know what that means, there was an episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob, I think he goes skiing or snowboarding with Sandy, and he breaks his butt. He just completely rips his butt to shreds. His butt is broken, and the doctor's like, that was dangerous. You can't do that. So what does SpongeBob decide to do? He decides to sit in his house by himself forever, and he only has his 3 little friends. It's a used napkin, it's a lone potato chip, and it's 1 penny. And those are his friends. And meanwhile, outside, the life is happening. The world is ready and roaming. The ending of that episode is a little weird. This guy in a monkey suit,
gorilla.
he attacks Sandy and Patrick, and SpongeBob has to go save them. But anyway, we came to the conclusion here that Kyle has been living like SpongeBob the last few months. And this is Grab My Bachelor. This is where we talk about Kyle and his journey in being a single man, a bachelor.
Let's talk.
Yes.
And Kyle came to the realization today. He said to me out loud, he said, I'm afraid that something bad is going to happen without even trying. So you're living like SpongeBob.
Yes.
You are locking yourself in your pineapple house, and you're not allowing yourself to try new things because you're afraid of what could happen, not what you could be doing to make things not happen.
True. Yeah. I guess I'm more afraid that another woman's going to break my heart. Yeah.
Okay, that's something we got to talk about. This is Grab My Bachelor.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's kind of tough to like get it out there. You don't even think about that kind of shit.
You don't
Like,
think
you
about it
don't.
until somebody
You don't.
pesters you about it.
Well, you don't think about it until like, I guess I just don't really think about it until it's like brought up.
It's kind of like
And then I-
subconscious.
yeah, it's like
It's-
subconscious, and then once it's brought up, then it's like brought to the surface, and I'm like, oh fuck, like I've hella been doing that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how long do you think you've been doing that for?
Probably a year,
Yeah.
probably a long time, man. I've been. Even women that were interested in me, I've been fending them off like they were the
Yep,
fucking
yep.
plague, like since
Relatable.
God knows when.
And that's a big thing because there's been a lot of women that have been interested in you.
Yeah,
To be honest with you, I'm gonna be real. There have been a lot, and I'm not exaggerating here, folks. Like every time I go out with Kyle, there's always somebody staring his way, and I always say, "Hey, I think she's staring at you," and it's always like, "Nope." And for a long time, I didn't understand. I thought it was like, "Oh, well, he's just feeling himself tonight." Blah blah blah. But when you bring it up, and you were just like, "I'm just afraid somebody's gonna break my heart again," that's big. That can rock you because you're kind of sitting back on your heels and you're not going out on your toes.
yeah, that's true. I'm not going out swinging. I'm going out, falling backwards.
Yeah, you're not
You're defending
striking out.
yourself.
You're not striking out swinging. You're striking out looking, which I would argue is probably the worst way to
Worst.
strike.
It
It is the worst in baseball. Yes.
Yes. So you don't want to be doing that. So what are some things you're going to try to do moving forward?
I have some things I want to take care of in my life first, but after I do that, I'm going to probably start putting myself out there again because I need to for my own sake.
Yeah, I would say it's one of those things where if you're thinking something's going to come to you, you're thinking about it the wrong way because that rarely happens, except if you're Chris. But then he would fumble the bag and he'd say,
Chill out.
He'd say
no.
no.
That's what Chris
Okay.
would say.
He'd say no. I don't know.
I
you.
thought we moved past this.
We haven't. So at least we got that out of the way. But we also have some semi-good news because I got a tweet from a listener over the weekend who said, "Hey, just want to let you guys know
I've been listening to your guys' show, listening to Bachelor, and I asked out the girl I was eyeing, and she said yes. So he fucking got a date from our dumbass advice.
Somehow.
That's right.
Hey, let's
go.
Clap it up. Clap it
How
up.
did that
Clap it
happen?
up. I have no idea. I actually, when I responded to the
What's-
tweet, I said, let's fucking go. And then I was like, wait, how did you do this? And I said, I don't care anymore, whatever. That
What's
was the
wrong
tweet.
with her?
Yeah.
What's wrong with her? That's, jeez.
You know what you could do, honestly, is if you just listen to our advice, but then do the opposite of it. That's actually like the blueprint.
That
Yeah.
could be.
That's
Is that
actually
what
how
we
you-
should see if
The
that's what he
secret
did.
That's how you
blueprint.
do it. That's really how it should be done.
They're like listening. They're like, that sounds too
But
obvious.
all jokes aside, Kyle, I know like when we first started this segment, it was weird because you're like, I don't know if I want to put myself out there like that. You being vulnerable like this has helped a lot of people.
I know.
All jokes aside, it has helped a ton of people because not everyone has like a way to vent their problems like we have had for
That's true.
years and years and years. And like we're very blessed and it's awesome to have this. So for you to, I know sometimes it's not as easy to be, vulnerable, but you doing this has helped people out and it's also helped yourself out, I think.
Yeah. We talked today, and I was like, I literally haven't dated since high school, and when you think about how long that's been, it's like fucking holy shit.
Years,
Like
man.
8
It's
years,
seven-
probably.
14 years?
8 years.
Oh, 8 years?
Years.
Seven going on 8 years.
I don't know how you got 14. Your math is just, you didn't learn anything.
You are
in
not
high school.
that
I didn't learn shit.
You might need to go back.
Yeah. I'm in college right now, and I
It's
still
still not
can't
working.
fucking
Do you
count.
have a degree?
Good God.
I do have a degree.
You need to double
I'm about
check
to get
that.
a second
It's all
one.
right.
You need to double check
Refund
that.
it.
Math's never been my subject, so I'm the last one to judge. But okay. But anyway, Kyle, I'd just like to say, like, you are helping people
Well
out.
done.
Even though you're learning on your own, it's one of those things where you're going to be better for this, just like everybody else is, because we're
True.
getting it all out there. Let's get into the real topic of Grab My Bachelor this week, because Kyle, you did have something kind of flare up a little bit.
Nice.
Yes.
We won't go deep into the story, but essentially,
deep.
Go deep into detail.
Go deep.
you want to go deep in the story? Okay.
deep.
So the real topic of the show this week was just a few weeks ago. Kyle was hanging out with some friends, and one of his friends is dating this girl, and she brought her sister. Now the sister is dating somebody and has been dating somebody, but that sister was all over Kyle, and I know the friend that he was talking to really well as well. And he was telling me this was crazy. The girl wanted Kyle. It was plain as day obvious. So that spurs the question: what should happen if you are talking, or if somebody is in a relationship but wants to try to start something with you?
What should you do?
What should you do? What do you do?
Run it.
Chris says run it.
Chris
says run
had no hesitation. He was
said,
like, "We run it."
Hey, we run it. We run it. Honestly, I kind of agree with Chris, especially when you're young. I think really age, this is one of the few times where I feel like age plays a part. I've always been a big proponent of when you're young, make your mistakes then. Don't wait to make your mistakes till you're older.
Let's
okay?
not say age. Let's say maturity in life.
No,
Because
I'm
someone
saying
can be
age.
young but very mature in what they want for their life and things, and that could change.
Well, I think even immaturity, though, it's like, oh, I'm in this relationship, but I want Kyle's dick. Then they do something stupid, and they're like, oh, I messed that up, but I'm only 20 years old.
You have a
Who
lot
cares?
more time to.
You have more time to
figure it
bounce
out.
back.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's better
you have
to
more
do
time
it
to
now.
adjust.
Yeah, then when you're
That's-
like 40 with kids, and you're just like, oh, I just banged like Stephanie from accounting, and now my whole
And
life
now
is ruined. I'm
she
living-
took the kids.
Now she took the kids. Jesus.
That will happen. But yes, so I think age is actually a big factor here. And Kyle, you're a young man, so
Yes.
there's plenty of time. I think if you were to make that mistake, or if they were to make that mistake with you, I think, hey, hands up, not that bad. Not that bad. Run it. Run it. As
Run
Chris
it.
would say, run it.
Run it.
If they're willing to go with you and they're in a relationship, the relationship's bad anyway.
It's already bad.
Yeah,
Gen zone. It's already
generally-
bad.
I mean,
generally speaking, yes, the relationship's probably got its major flaws at some point.
Yes.
I think there's also other things to play into it. Is that welcomed in the relationship? Possibly.
open
That is a thing.
swingers.
That's a thing in today's society. That's a thing. It's a very
Three fun.
3 Fun.
3 Fun Society.
Yes.
Kyle might be able to tell you all about that app at some point, one or another.
I actually did sign Kyle up for 3 Fun over the weekend.
Yes.
You don't have to put any real names, and you just put a nickname, and his nickname was Big Balls. And then I was drunk. And then
Yeah.
I love that.
I put a picture of Kyle, but I covered his face with a Snapchat sticker. And then I went
They all
through
do this.
the profiles, and I came to the conclusion that there's a reason why like apps like Tinder and Bumble are just vastly better and used more than all the other apps, and it's because all of the other apps optimization is so fucking bad. It doesn't make any sense how they're apps with that many reviews. But there was some interesting people on 3 Fun, none of which I think any of us would want to mess around with at all in any capacity.
true.
I wouldn't even want to know them at work. But there was some interesting couples on 3 Fun. So they were there. But anyway, I signed Kyle up. I was drunk, but I already deleted the account, so you can't find him. So don't even try.
Good.
Anyway, so
that being said,
yes, DM
Kyle.
Slide
DM
in.
Kyle, please.
Sheesh.
But yeah, Brian brings up a great point. There are some people testing some things out. Maybe you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with this. Like she's dating some. Maybe the guy's like, I'm into it.
Maybe she's dating
That
like
could be a
4
very-
people.
Maybe.
That could be a thing. They could be into a multitude of people. They could be into a multitude type of people. And so could the partner. That could also be a thing.
Yeah. Are you down for that?
I don't know if I'd be all right if I had an audience when I was trying to get down.
Well, no, not. Or
Well,
is
I
that
mean,
what we're talking about?
It's more like a 3D movie.
4D.
4D. It's more like
4D.
a 4D movie.
Well, 2D in some aspects.
So yeah, there's a lot of D's. There's more D's.
There's
than
2.
D's.
There are 2 Ds.
Potentially.
There are 2 Ds.
Potentially. Sometimes it's the other way.
There are 2 D's in one way. Brian's right. There's 2 D's. It's also 4D because
But it
it's
could
like-
be
You're there.
2V 4D.
It could be that. There's a lot of letters.
2V4D.
And it's an IMAX.
2V4D. That's not even a relationship. That's just a gathering. That's just a.
That's a party.
That's a small gathering I'd be a part of. I'd
Yeah,
like to be a
okay,
part
there
of
we
that.
go.
There we
Okay,
go.
at
That,
least
that
we-
wouldn't be that
we
bad.
ironed it out.
But let's say this. One, depends on the relationship of the people. I feel like that's a huge pending point. Depends
Yeah.
on the relationship of the people. 2, if it's not that kind of relationship where it's fairly open and that's okay between the already incorporated couple.
Yeah.
If it's not okay, then that relationship has some serious issues.
Yeah.
Not saying you advance on that, but I'm saying
Well,
it's
I am.
spin zone. Chris might.
Run it.
Chris might, but
Run it.
I also like to think of it from the flip side. Would you want, if you were having issues with your girl, would you want someone trying to advance on that?
No, but if
That's
if she answered the call, then
that's a big issue.
I mean, it is a big issue, but at the same time, you're like, all right, well,
If
she's
she
not
accepts
the
the DM,
one, right?
Yeah. I
If
mean,
you
like,
accept
not
the
I'm-
DM request, there's something going on. I also I took the liberty, boys, of making a sliding scale because I feel like circumstances can really change how you view this, right?
Yeah.
I would say that circumstances are a big part of this.
Yes.
Let's assume that Kyle is going to ruin this relationship.
Just
for better or for
drag it
worse.
through the mud.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's gonna do as Chris would say. He's gonna run it.
He's going to run it.
Let's go through the situations here, and we'll say if karma will be a bitch, or if it's not really worth karma to even look at. Karma will look at whatever, and just toss it to the side. What do you guys think?
Okay.
I'm gonna-
So
yeah.
good or bad? Will there be bad repercussions?
Repercussions is a great word
It's like,
for it.
should you have karma, I guess.
Yes. Okay.
What
Yes.
you're also kind of inferring in this is, at what point is your potential significant other so far into another relationship where you back off?
Yeah, okay, there you go.
That's
There.
also another way
Yeah.
to look at that.
Yes. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to go in any order. I'm just going to name off the list, okay?
Yeah.
So here we go. Separated but married.
I say no. I believe in the sanctity of marriage.
Okay.
I think that's something that's a no.
Chris is giving me
Chris,
the run it face.
Chris is saying run it. I know Chris is saying run it.
good to run it
Listen,
face.
I
Let's
get
be
what
real.
I
How
get it.
often does separation end with divorce? Most of the time.
most
right?
yeah, I'd
Most
say
time.
most of the time.
Once you're separated, there's so little room to salvage that relationship. It's like
So-
I understand what you're saying.
Well,
marriage is sacred.
And divorce can take a long time.
That's true.
I get that.
You can both be, out there.
Yeah.
So here's my thing with that is, if you're not actually divorced, who's to say that person, or at least the other party, isn't actively trying to fix something?
Okay, let me...
So
you're right.
Do you give the respect to the other party to fix that before you attempt?
That makes sense. I could say
that's
yes.
my thought
I could
on
say
it.
yes. Kyle.
I'm kind of with Chris, honestly. If I'm going to be real with you. Hey.
Run it. Hey, run it, big boy. Hey, run it.
I'm just saying, if you're still married but you're split up, like, the chances are you're probably not getting back together, and the other person's probably clapping cheeks too.
Rarely does it happen.
Like,
let me narrow it down even more. Separated but married, the other significant other has dated.
For
100%.
sure.
Then you run it, right?
Then you're for
Or
sure
do you
run it.
still believe in the sanctity of marriage right there?
Do I? Okay, let me. Fuck that. That's a weird
That's
one.
tougher, right?
That's a tough one. At that point I understand viewing and seeing other people,
But not fucking.
but I think taking it to that extent is different. And like, to me, something beyond that point it's too far.
So you're just soaking.
To
at
me,
that point.
what was that?
Oh, you're just soaking.
Yeah.
You're just what?
So
You know what soaking is?
I've never heard that term.
That's what Mormons do. They
Mormons do.
just go
It's
inside,
not
but
sex.
you just put it in and you just soak.
you sit there, and then you have
No.
someone on the bottom bunk
It's even less than
pushing
that.
you.
Less than soaking?
Less
Okay.
than soaking.
I just wanted to
You're not
clarify.
wait, so you're not even soaking?
You're not even soaking?
No physical anything.
Nothing.
Not
Not,
even
even
kissing.
kiss. Okay, not even kissing.
If-
Not
Okay.
even kiss.
If the
I
other,
probably should have started with like kissing before I said soaking.
Probably.
Yeah.
You said no physical contact.
No,
Okay.
no physical contact.
Okay,
No,
so-
not even a kiss. No physical
Not even
contact.
a kiss. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next one. Dating but not living together.
Define dating.
They've been dating for 6 months.
Have they slept together?
Yes.
No.
I feel like that would be worse than the separated one, I think.
I think that's worse than separated because you're still committed to each other.
Yeah.
Spin
You're
zone.
just-
Still
you just
open.
don't-
You're still committed to each other.
I
You're still
mean,
not having doubts.
I feel like
about
because
each
that
other.
one's so new, like, that would
Like,
feel worse.
You're arguably
Like
still
you
in the
just
honeymoon.
got with this
like,
girl, and then she cheats on you.
Dating for 6 months, not living together. They also haven't met each other's families.
Still no.
I'm
Still
running
no.
it.
I don't know.
I'm running
You're running it?
I
I'm
feel
running
like
it.
if you
Here-
don't meet the parents within 6 months, it's not serious.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not
That-
serious.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's
I,
not-
I feel like you run it. I feel like you run it.
I'm one of those people that you got to get kind of lured in to meet the parents. So I'm not like...
I'm
not, like,
not
going
letting
there.
my parents meet like a girlfriend until
You feel like
I
it's-
know for
yeah.
a fact.
And if it's been
even
6 months.
if it's been 6 months, that's. I mean, come on.
Okay, now let's move it on to dating but living together.
No, I can't.
No,
Wait,
they're,
where
hell
do
no.
we
They're
do-
living together. No.
Yeah.
Where do we do the deed?
In his bed.
No, I can't do that.
No.
How would you react if you're the other? If you're
No,
the
that's what
third
I'm
person,
saying.
and that's where, to me, like looking back at my past and everything, like there's a lot of things I would change because of how detrimental it was to the third person. involved in
But
this.
dude, like, okay, yes, it's detrimental. I understand that. Okay, it's messed up because you do it to somebody else. My thing once again comes down to though, I feel like if it was really meant to be, it wouldn't have happened.
I get that. Like,
Spin zone.
Oh,
Okay, spin zone. The relationship was already doomed and is so bad anyways that you're actually helping him by fucking his
you're
girl
letting
and
him
getting-
realize that
you're-
she's terrible.
He's gonna probably start going to the gym. He's probably gonna get super
He's gonna
ripped.
better himself.
He's gonna
Was
better
he-
himself.
Okay,
He's
so
gonna get jacked.
Was
He's gonna
he
get so jacked.
if he was already cheating on them?
Oh,
If he was already cheating on them, and the
mean,
relationship,
I got one.
if he was already cheating on them, and the
No.
relationship was doomed.
Yes.
I'm not mad at that. I feel like it depends on your. No, not even intention.
Let me say this
I don't even
one.
want to throw that in there.
Let me say this one. Dating, living together, but he's cheated in the past.
100%.
Define
How-
dating. First off, if he's
Dating
cheating,
and living together.
let me throw this out there right now, just for the crowd. If they are cheating in the past,
Run
why?
it.
Why
And
the
they're still
no,
together?
No, not even that. To the person who's still in the relationship with them, what Chris is saying.
Yeah.
Why even still
Why
be
are
with
you-
them?
Well,
Why
once
are you
again,
with
that-
them?
A lot of
Like,
people go back. So do you
Stupidly.
run it or no?
Yeah, I run it.
Yeah, you run it.
They went. She
Brian
went
doesn't look like
back-
he's running it.
Well, She
See,
went back,
the-
but now she wants to cheat. I feel like it's unrealistic.
Well,
The-
now this is a major spin zone. Like, he already cheated. Now she's about to cheat. Like, this relationship is just doomed.
Oh yeah, it is. It was
And-
doomed when he cheated.
Again, I feel like that, and here's my thing. I feel like that leads to an entryway of, are they both okay with this?
Well, okay, let's pretend like
Is
they're
it
not.
an open relationship?
If they're not
kind of
okay
thing?
with this, then I think that you say no until a move is made on their side.
So Brian's firmly not run it, which
I
you
can
have
respect
to have.
that.
You have to have a non-run it guy.
I can respect.
Like
Chris is
running.
I'm
it.
Chris is
Chris
I'm
is running it
running
90% of the situation.
Yeah.
Chris, I want you to know, like 5 years ago,
He would run it.
listen, bro. Every situation you brought up to me,
Hey.
I'm saying run it every time. 5 years later,
Regrets.
it's tougher,
It's
man.
tougher
It's tougher
because you're
It is.
now that
well,
I'm
what you're doing is you're picturing yourself on the opposite side.
and that's the thing. Like now that I'm in a committed relationship, and now that I'm in something where I know it's going to last for hopefully
Forever.
the rest of my
Yeah.
life. You know, like now that I'm in that, it's a lot harder for me to say run it.
Honestly, I just like saying "run it." That's just
Run
saying
it.
it's been a fun phrase for me to say this
All
entire
right.
segment. Here's another level that I don't think a hypothetical we didn't get to. Married without kids.
Without kids,
Married without kids is actually vastly different from married with kids.
I would never do married with kids.
married with
never.
kids is
I would never
next level.
married
I couldn't do
period, I
that
would
to
not
a
do.
guy.
I think married. I agree with you. I'm playing devil's advocate here, but if you're doing married without kids, that's basically just dating with a shiny little
No,
bow
that's.
on top.
I still wouldn't do it.
I can agree with you, but I don't think I'd do it.
Let's look at the what's the worst that can happen hypothetical with married with kids. I just said it. Married
Yes.
without kids, a marriage ends.
Well,
Yes,
a marriage
which-
ends. I jump out the window trying not to get killed. I don't have any clothes. I run down the street, get arrested by the cops for nudity in public.
Spin zone, that's a fantastic story.
All I'm saying,
That's a great story
Yes.
to tell when you're older.
if they're my age and they're married, first off, they got married too soon,
Early, yeah, that's early.
and
But
there's
what
a
I'm
good
saying
chance
is
the marriage ends.
what I'm
anyway.
saying is like, what's the worst that
I-
can happen in that situation? It's
They
like,
divorce.
okay, well they divorce,
and I get my ass beat, maybe.
like I don't know.
That's
But you have to split the assets. That could be annoying, but
yeah,
other than that,
so
I
my
mean,
issue.
I don't have to.
My issue is more on the moral concept of it.
no, I get it. No,
Like,
I'm just
yeah.
I'm bringing
I-
this
I
up
know,
as
no,
far
I-
as like
I get that.
yeah.
You say worst that could happen is you kind of intrude on the concept of the, and I hate to bring this in, but the like integrity of marriage. The idea of openly admitting that you're committing to each other. You're
Yeah.
intruding on that. To me, that's actually worse than the act itself.
Okay.
Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
Just
No,
kind of
that
going
does
back
make a
on
lot
that.
of
To me,
sense.
that's
Totally-
worse than that for the marriage aspect. Now, if you said unmarried with kids,
I still
regardless of the
kids.
situation, I mean, there's worse situations to be in. You don't know what that relationship's like. There's a lot of things
Anything-
play into it.
anything with kids, I'm not running it. Anything with kids, I'm not running it.
I think
But-
if you run it with kids, you have to know what you're getting into.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's what it is.
well, I mean, if
You
they're
have to
like
be willing to commit to a further level if it comes to that.
my thing is, kids, I think are more important than the marriage part. In my mind,
100%,
like the
100%.
kids are more important. If you're getting into something just to bust your nut on a thirsty Thursday at Bobby Salazar's,
okay.
that's a lot different than like, okay, they have a child. Like, if I get into this, I actually have to buckle
gotta
down
man up.
here. I think kids are actually more important than the marriage certificate. Like,
That's fair. I respect that.
and it
Kids-
sounds bad because the sanctity of
Does-
marriage is supposed to be something that's upheld and it's supposed to be very sacred and important. I don't know why it's not. Maybe it's the generation we grew up in. It's just a little bit different. Maybe it's like my parents are
Good.
split. Like, it's one of those things where I don't look at it as important as the children. The
Yeah.
children,
So kids are
make-
way more important.
Make the difference.
So does the age of the children matter? If
I
they're
think-
if they're under one, where it's not going to be a memory thing.
First of all,
If they're 6 years old.
mom going out at 6 months after she just had
That's
a child
awful.
at Thirsty Thursday at Bobby Salazar's. Fact.
Why is there
Listen, bro. Hey.
It's got to be Thursday.
I don't know, bro.
Listen, bro. She thirsty. It's a Thursday. What do you expect?
Anyway, if she's doing that, then it's already questionable. So you're probably already got your priorities set up straight. Like, We didn't say that on the red flags episode.
That's a red flag.
Oh shit. But yeah, that's a red
If she
flag.
just had your kid and she's going out to Thirsty Thursday and Bobby
Something's
saw.
not right.
I
She's still
do
on
feel-
maternity leave.
Something's if she's still on
I think there's like. So yes, Brian. I think the age does matter to answer your question. I think it does matter.
We got there.
I think it does matter. Okay, let me try to bring it back.
how do you bring it back?
I don't know how I bring it back. I don't know how I bring it back from that. Okay, so we got through all that. Any other spin zones? Does that? Oh, you know what's actually a great discussion here is if any of these situations happen, and does that count? Does that count as a bag fumble?
If like
Does that count if you say no? If they're in a relationship,
Yes.
does that count as a bag fumble?
Well,
Because that's
depending on the
I-
relationship.
I don't know.
That's not a bag fumble.
I don't think that's a bag fumble. I think that's a judgment call because you have to
Judgment
read
call.
that situation very closely. Because realistically, you're not going to get all the information we described right up front.
No.
So initially, you pursue. That's the general idea there. It's when you find out the more information, when you are privileged with more information, is where you make the judgment call on that.
I will say there's one situation where I feel like it's a bag fumble. If they're married, but they're separated, but the other partner's actively dating, I think that's a bag fumble.
Yeah.
If you don't go through with it, you mean?
They're already.
I still understand Brian's point, because Brian's point is the
Because odds are
sanctity
you
of
don't-
marriage is supposed to be sacred, supposed to be upheld. I still get it. But at the same time, I'm saying if they're already ruining it, it's already, the sanctity's
They're not
already
trying
ruined.
to fix it.
Yeah, they're not, like, if they're dating somebody else, I feel like that's a bag fumble because the opportunity was there.
Well, I feel like that.
But I won't fault that bag fumble.
No. At that point, you just run.
That
it.
would be like you know how in like a lot of sports there's like the win. You know how records in the NFL are like 9 and 7, and then if you tie, there's a 1 at the end.
You're
I would
tying.
say that bag fumble is like right now. Chris
like
is
half
like
a loss.
How many bag fumbles does Chris have? He has
2.
3.
Two,
No, he had
two,
3.
3.
So he would be 3-0-1 because that's like a judgment call.
3-1.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. 0-3
I
and
wish
1.
I was 3-0.
Yeah. 0-3-1. He would be. That would be his.
Me too,
That would
buddy.
be like a weird.
I'm 0-6-1 if it makes you feel any
It
better.
doesn't.
There you go.
It doesn't.
There you go. All right, that was a great Bachelor. That was a top
I had a
notch
great
Bachelor.
time.
That was a great one. That should just about do it for the Grab My Bachelor segment of the show. Once again, if you guys have any stories, we had somebody send me a bag fumble this week on
No.
Instagram.
No, did
Sent
they?
me a bag fumble. It was it was bad. It wasn't Chris bad,
Okay.
but it was bad.
I'm happy for them.
I was on the phone with Brian when I read it. It was
I
a bag
remember that.
fumble.
I remember that.
But so if you guys have any stories like that, don't be afraid to send them in. We always love reading stuff like that. We love talking to you guys anyway. That should just about do it for the Bachelor segment of the show. We are going to move into the final little part of it, and we're going to round out this bad boy. All right, let's round out the show here. Rogue Energy Draft with the boys. Don't forget to head on down to rogueenergy.com. Use code BANNER, 10% off. Rogue Energy Draft with the boys. If you were having to build yourself some brand new furniture, you're trying to figure it out, get all the directions figured out, who would you call at this table to help you get the furniture built? Boys, let's get into it.
I'm actually going to call my main man Chris over here because I feel like he's good at building things.
Beer guy.
Yeah.
He's and
What are you
he's
talking about?
he might be the beer guy.
He'll bring you vodka Red Bulls.
He'd be-
He's the vodka Red Bull
Lots
guy.
of
Maybe a
vodka
tall
Red Bulls.
boy. Truly tall
Truly.
boy.
Maybe
Truly
a
tall
truly
boy. Chris, I've never seen you drink without a truly tall boy.
Well,
You need to
you
come
haven't
to the
seen him
bar with
drink.
us.
You haven't come to the
Playboy.
bar with us.
I've
Listen, dude,
I've
let
only
me
seen him
rephrase
drink everything but
The
that.
only time I've seen him drink is at my place or here.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
The
true.
one
That is
time.
true. I'll go
Yeah.
next. I'm actually going to bring in Kyle. I need somebody to keep me calm because I'm going to lose my shit. If I bring Brian, I'm going to punch a hole in the wall at some point.
You're going to punch a hole in the wall, but that's because I'm not going to let you do anything. I'm just
Exactly.
Gonna do it.
Yeah, he's going to do it, and I'm going to be like, dude, I was trying to do this. So that's why I'm bringing Kyle, because Kyle will just sit back and watch me do it and get mad, but he'll keep me calm enough to where I don't physically harm myself.
Yeah.
Which is that's what I need. So I'm bringing Kyle
I'm
with
comic
me.
relief.
Yeah, comic relief. And he's also like the beer guy. He'll just sit there and be like, you want a beer? I'll be like, yes, I need one.
Bro,
So
I think your
that's-
beer's empty.
Yeah, that would definitely be mine. Brian.
Let's see. Well, let's go through this. Kyle, no offense, but I don't think you'd be too much help actually building the furniture
No,
itself.
definitely not helping.
You'd be a great, conversation on the side as I'm
Yes.
doing it. Wyatt, you would definitely help building it,
Yeah.
but we'd probably get so intense into building it that we wouldn't enjoy the drinking as much.
No.
Chris, I don't know what to expect from you, which might be even more fun. So I think I'm going to go Chris on that.
There you go. Just the unexpected.
Yeah,
Let it be
I don't know
known.
what's going to happen, whether he's going to drink a shit ton with me or actually build the thing with me.
Yeah.
I
don't know what's
literally
gonna happen.
build things for a living.
There you go.
I am in construction, carpentry.
There you go. There you go. Chris.
I'm going to take Brian because I feel like Brian can lock in and focus.
Bro,
Brian can lock
Brian
in and
can lock in
focus.
and focus, and he'll get it done. Even
What-
if I'm doing most of the work, he'll help.
Yeah.
Bro, what are directions? I don't even know what those are. I
Fuck
just
'em.
build shit without them.
I can figure it
one
out
of,
without him.
That's one of Brian's frustrating traits is trying to figure shit out without the directions.
Men
And I'm
don't
like,
use
fuck.
directions.
I don't.
You and
I don't-
Brian are on the same page with that.
Chris, let's build some shit, bro.
build.
Let's build.
That's
There we
number
go.
two.
There we go.
Created a dynamic duo.
Oh shit! That should just about do it for episode 77, boys and girls. Once again, I keep plugging this because I feel like it's one of my favorite things about this show. The brand new Discord that we just created. We had a bunch of you guys DM me for the Discord link. I just want to say one thing too. If I send you the Discord link, try to join immediately. Because the link does not last forever, and I'm gonna have to resend it to you if you ask for it. So just join immediately. Get it out of the way. But the Discord is awesome, man. We just added a brand new channel as well called the Grab My Banner Photo Album, where it's all the pictures of all of us here who have ever been on the show. That includes Carter, that includes super producer Troy, and of course everybody here, even Chris as well. We got one picture with Chris in there. He's only been on for like 3 episodes, but there's a brand new photo album. You can go back through all the memories. And on top of that, you've got all of the album artwork. You've got all of the skits. You've got all of the Raise Energy questions / Rogue Energy questions. And all of the Bachelor segments there. So you can go back and be like, what episode was the Red Flags episode? Oh, there it is. You can go back and look at all of that. Now, I also understand it's very intimidating to go into a Discord because a lot of people, they just want to go to work. They don't want all these notifications blowing up their phone. Here's the best bet. Go in, immediately mute all notifications, and just use it as your guide to go back through all the episodes. Because once again, this Discord is not for a bunch of gamers. It's not for anything other than the Grab My Banner listener. And if you're somebody that works all day, just mute the notifications so you can use it for that reason instead. I mute all notifications, and it's my fucking Discord, okay? I'm not in there all day. I just like to make the cool little things for the listener, and the Discord's really awesome.
And we do try to get in there, even though we do have it muted because there's so many messages coming through. We do try to get in there and actually pay attention and respond to all the messages that are directed to us.
Yes.
That also being said, get in there. We also want to interact, and
Yes.
we do hop into the actual Discord and have voice chats and actually get to talk to some of you guys sometimes, which is actually one of the best parts of this show.
It really is. And honestly, we've been doing the Monday night Gaming with Bongo streams and doing the custom lobbies. And a lot of you guys will hop in the voice channel with us. If you guys just want to talk to us while we're drinking some beers and playing some Apex in custom lobbies, we've had a lot of new listeners come in and talk to us. And don't be afraid to join and hop in. The only thing we wish you don't do is make your dinner right in our ear like our good friend B-Jocks, who seems to do that all the time. But we don't care. We just want you in there. We want everybody having a good time. It's a great Discord to be in. And, I mean, you kind of have to mute notifications anyway. Like, even if you do enjoy getting the notifications, because our first Discord had like 430 people in it. That's way too many messages to be popping up on your phone. So you kind of have to mute it anyway. So just go in, say what's up, hop in there with us, join the thing, have all the notifications there. You can do whatever you want. This Discord is so awesome, and we want you guys to join. We also, once again, would like to plug the Monday nights because we just had an awesome one.
We went crazy.
And there wasn't a whole lot of people there because Bongo didn't have a whole lot of people there this week, but all of the Banner Boys had a blast. We had all of us landing on Big Blue Dick,
So
trying
good.
to shoot
Great
each
time.
other, and it was some of the best fun I've had in a long time. We had Jay-Z, Boba, me, Kyle, obviously Chris, and then we had some other newer Grab My Banner listeners hop in. We all landed in the same spot while the rest of the lobby was trying to win the game. We were all just trying to kill each other and get clips of us killing each other, and it was awesome. And it's just a great time.
a good time.
Every single time.
What time is this at? What time does this happen?
It's usually around 6:30 to 7. Sometimes it'll be 7:30. It's hard to get a real time.
So-
depends.
Pacific time
Roughly 6:30 to 7:30
was when it starts.
Beyond
p.m.
6:30.
Pacific time, right?
PM Pacific time is when it starts, and then
Okay.
we can all go in there, have a great time. We've done it multiple times in a row. Once again, you can talk to us. We chill out, and like Brian said, you get a chance to talk to us, and even if you don't want to like talk through like a voice channel, there are also channels in the Discord. Ask Wyatt, ask Brian, ask Kyle, ask Chris, ask everybody. If you just want to ask us a question individually, that's also there. It's for you guys. This whole Discord is for you guys, the listeners. We appreciate the shit out of you. Every single chance we get to try and like give back to you guys, we try to do, and so that's why it means a lot to us, this Discord.
Side note, if you ever have a question for any of us that are outside of what you feel comfortable for asking in the Ask Brian, Ask Wyatt, whatever
Yeah, you can
section,
always DM too.
just
You can
DM
always
us.
DM us.
DM us. We'll reply to it. It might
we're
take us a little
available.
bit of time to get to it,
Yes.
but we do check very frequently. Feel
Yes. So that should just about do it for episode 77. Boys and girls, thank you for listening. As always, we'll see you next week for episode 78.
free. See ya.